on the beat, ho, Debo, D-Rap, nigga, he a freak, throw. Man down, call her Amber Lambs, tell him breathe, bro. Nail a nigga to the cross, he walk around like Tizo. What's up with these jabroni ass niggas trying to see Compton? The industry can hate me, fuck them all and they mama. How many options you really got? I mean, it's too many options. I'm finna pass on this body, I'm John Stockton. Beat your ass and hide the Bible if God watching. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. Certified boogeyman, I'm the one that up the score with him. Walking down whole time, I know he got some hoe on him. Pole on him, extort shit, bully the flow on him. Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. You better not ever go to cell block 1. To any bitch that talk to him and they in love, just make sure you hide your little sister from him. They tell me Chubb's the only one that get your hand-me-downs and party at the party playing with his nose now. And Baka got a weird case, why is he around? Certified lover boys, certified pedophiles. Wop, 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 that fuck him up. Wop, 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 wop. I'ma do my stuff. Why you trolling like a bitch, ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord and it's probably A minor. They not like us, they not like us, they not like us. They not like us, they not like us, they not like us. You think the Bay gon' let you disrespect Pop, nigga? I think that Oakland show gon' be your last stop, nigga. They cold foul, I don't know why you still pretending. What is the owl? Bird niggas and bird bitches, go. The audience not dumb, shape the stories how you want. Hey Drake, they're not slow. Rabbit hole is still deep, I can go further, I promise. Ain't that something? B-Rest, that's for bitchin'. You Malibu most wanted, ain't no love boy, you ball boy, fish Gatorade or something. Since 2009, I had this bitch jumping. You niggas will get a wedgie, you flipped over your boxes, or over your foe. The other vaginal option, pussy, if you got a straight leg blush. Got famous all up in content, might write this with a doctor. Tell a pop star quit hiding, fuck a caption, won't action. No accident, I'm hands on, he fuck around, get polished. Fucked on Wayne Grower, he was in jail, that's conniving. Then get his face tatted like a bitch apologizing. I'm glad D-Rose came home, y'all didn't deserve him neither. From Alondra down to Central, nigga better not speak on Serena. And your homeboy needs subpoena, that predator moving flocks. That name gotta be registered and placed on neighborhood watch. I lean on you niggas like another line of walk. Yeah, it's all eyes on me and I'ma send it up the pot. Ay, put the road label on me, I'ma get them dropped. Ay, sweet chin music and I won't pass the ox. Ay, how many stocks do I really have in stock? Ay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 5. Ay, devil is a lie, here 69 God. Ay, freaky ass niggas need to stay their ass inside. Ay, roll their ass up like a fresh pack of Zod. Ay, city is back up, it's a must, we outside. Ay.
Bro, I like how you coming.
They not like us, they not like us, they not like us. They not like us, they not like us, they not like us. Once upon a time, all of us was in chains. Homie still double down, calling us some slaves. Atlanta was the mecca, building railroads and trains. Bear with me for a second, let me put y'all on game. The settlers was using town folk to make them richer. Fast forward 2024, you got the same agenda. You run to Atlanta when you need a check balance. Let me break it down for you, this the real nigga challenge. You caught Future when you didn't see the club. Hey, what, little baby help you get your lingo up. What, 21 get your first street cred. Thug make you feel like you a slime in your head. Hey, what, Quavo said you can be from North Side. What, 2 Chainz say you good, but he lied. You run to Atlanta when you need a few dollars. No, you not a colleague, you a fucking colonizer. The family matter and the truth of the matter. Here was God's plan to show y'all the liar. He a fan, he a fan, he a fan. He a fan, he a fan, he a freaky ass nigga, he a 69 God. Freaky ass nigga, he a 69 God. Hey, 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 run for your life.
Oh, your life.
Hey, 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 run for your life. Freaky ass nigga, he a 69 God. Freaky ass nigga, he a 69 God. Hey, 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 run for your life. Hey, 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 run for your life. Let me hear you say OV ho. Say OV ho. Then step this way. Step that way, then step this way, step that way. Are you my friend? Are we live?
Are we live then?
Then step this way, step that way, then step this way, step that way.
Coming from a galaxy near you, this is Brothers and Booze. And here are your hosts, Greg Washington and Doug Ziegler.
And Renee.
And Renee. Hey, Greg's all hyped up.
Yeah, it's hard to make this follow like the pinnacle of the crazy diss track season that Kendrick Lamar was dominating.
I've had Welcome to Brothers and Booze with Renee, and
Yeah.
I've had so much fun with this all week. It's been so much fun. All you doubters and haters and people who don't like it, This goes somewhere else. This is just too much fun. Too much fun. I mean, I can't say enough, y'all. Doug, you know I've been loving it all week.
I know we were talking about it, in the chats and stuff, and just like I admittedly am so far removed from most of the rap stuff because most of the rap recently, I'm old, so I like all the old
You're
stuff.
just old.
So like a lot of the newer stuff was like I don't get it, and maybe it's not for me to get, but just this sort of, I mean, beef stuff I understand because that was a staple back in early rap. So that I understand, but just like I think Kendrick Lamar is one of the few modern rappers that I really dig. And then Drake I could give two shits about, which we talked about with April Dove, which I'm wearing her shirt right now. But
I say like, a couple people came on my post about on Facebook who maybe didn't know how I felt about it. They just thought I felt strongly that it was happening or something, and I was like, Drake makes the most boring music I've ever heard in my life, and he's a pederast. It's okay to hate Drake. It's fine. Like nothing of value is lost.
Poor April, man.
Oh, she's perfect. I just wanted to remind everybody that this happened, Doug. Thanks for reminding me. And just name an artist that every single one of his songs, in my opinion, sucks besides like 2. Okay. And I don't care if y'all come at me because there's a lot of people who like this dude, but fuck Drake. Fuck him. Yeah, look at that. Look.
Your face was just the best. The glass slam was just awesome. Boom.
Oh, that was perfect, Doug. I had to go back and grab that. That was just too much fun.
That was
actually, what's too much fun, actually, Doug, is this Aeon thingy that I got.
Oh.
I don't know.
I gave that to you.
How long ago?
Oh, Black and Barrel Flow last year.
Wow. I don't know. It went good with Kendrick, so
yeah.
How about that?
What style of beer was that again? I want to say it was a German.
It's a Pils. It's a Pils. So, Pils get stuck in the back of the refrigerator, and I'm like, I can get to a Pils later. I don't have to get to, you know what I mean? Like a IPA or something. I can get to a Pils. I don't know. It's still pretty good. It's not, I'm sure it was crispier at some point, but yeah, it's pretty good. What y'all got?
Renee, you got something?
I do. I got, because it's the Mother's Day episode, I had to do like a tribute to being a working mom, which is my iced coffee. But the cream, because I never drink my coffee this light, it's bourbon cream.
Ooh, Afro beer chick in the background was like her head perked up with your bourbon cream.
It tastes really good, but I wish I had
bourbon cream.
Yeah, but Buffalo Trace too.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
I grabbed it like for the holidays, and this is the first time I used it, and it's real good. I wish I had. I feel like I wasted it on kind of coffee, but the bourbon cream is.
Y'all gonna get me in trouble for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow. I knew there was something like that. Doug, what you got?
Well, I picked up when I was at my parents a few weeks ago. They live in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania. So this is the closest town to my parents' town, which is 300 people. This is Sunbury, and this is Eclipse Craft Brewery, which is Sunbury's oldest craft brewery, and it says 5-year anniversary. So that shows you how modern that town is. But this is a Triple H Black IPA. Greg, your style there, man.
There we go. Sunbury, though. I don't know where the hell is Sunbury.
It is.
Oh, Northumberland.
Yeah. Selinsgrove.
Stephen Point. Selinsgrove. Oh, okay.
Selinsgrove.
Okay. Yeah.
So, got in my nice little IPA glass. Heavy pour, of course.
Pretty.
Bloomsburg. Yeah, and there's State College-ish. Okay. Yeah. All right. Centralia. Mm-hmm.
You know what Centralia is famous for, right? Everything under the ground is on fire because there are coal mines there, and the coal mines caught fire, and it's been on fire for like 40 years. It had to move people out, and some people refused to leave. So,
is that the one that has the top, like the nuclear waste dump nearby that's about to catch fire too, or is that somewhere else?
I don't know. That's possible.
Yeah, America's fantastic. Question I could ask. I love it. Super glad.
3 Mile Island's closer to Harrisburg.
Gotcha. Okay. Hey, JHG's here.
Happy birthday! He's still younger than me. Manny.
Who isn't?
I'm here too, Manny. Yes, Manny, we fucking know you're here, so it's fine. So anyway, this is a pretty decent black IPA, not the best one I've ever had, but cheers.
Yeah. So, I was gonna go on a rant, but Kendrick made me happy, so we might have to wait for that.
Okay.
But I do want to show this real quick.
Me Chubb's the only one that get your hand-me-downs and party at the party playing with his nose now. And Baka got a weird case. Why is he around? Certified lover boys, certified pedophiles. Wop, 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 wop. That fuck 'em up. Wop, 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 wop. I'ma do my stuff. Why you trolling like a bitch? Ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord and it's probably A minor. They not like us. 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 They not like us.
Love it.
Didn't take them long to get a routine for that, did they?
No, they had one. Right. So, real quick though, before we bring on our guests and get into motherhood, Doug, I just wanted to talk a little bit about this rap beef and it's kind of the thing that annoys me about it is that I just feel that people are just trying to kill people's good vibes and souls that they're getting from this, and people are enjoying it, and there's just this level of oh well, this isn't as good as the Jay-Z Nas one, or this isn't the best ever, or this all these superlative things that they use to minimize the fun and the stuff that's happening around the song. Yes, there's a lot of bad things in the song. No, I don't condone everything that Kendrick and Drake are saying. I don't like the gunshots in the one Drake song and all this mess. I don't, but overall though, I think, it's a thing where people are being brought together. I think hip hop is being seen more. Kendrick has gone up from 24 to 19 on the Spotify list since this happened. People are streaming his stuff even more. I think he's a fantastic rapper. And I think he's a fantastic entertainer that should be in front of more people. He has a really, really good message. In fact, even Drake came out and were like, "What are you on this liberation stuff for? Really, Drake? Is that what we're looking for, Drake?" So I just want people to understand too, because I don't know if you could even compare this beef to any other beef that happened before, because there's no beef that happened before with Apple Music and Spotify and the 24/7 things and just the reach and just the different type of Drake and Kendrick were able to just drop songs on their YouTube channel, just drop them whenever they wanted to. That was unheard of when Jay-Z and Nas and old school ones are coming back. And also too, lastly, and I'll let y'all comment, then we'll get to our fabulous guests. I saw some of this narrative that oh, this is just a hip hop thing. No, motherfuckers, no. There've been beefs in all kinds of genres of music. I will point to Godsmack and Crying Like a Bitch, where they literally, it's a diss track, Doug, for Nikki Sixx, who's from
Motley Crue.
Motley Crue. Yes. So I don't know if y'all know Godsmack or whatever, or that was there's a song called "Crying Like a Bitch," and they're literally talking about Nikki Sixx. So there's a wasn't the Neil Stills and Young, weren't they feuding back in the day, and making songs that were dissing, I think, the Beatles or something? I don't know. Look, the point is that
if you listen to it now, because the same way that in 20 years there's going to be references in these quickly made songs that people are like, what?
Yeah,
right.
Right. You know that Millie Bobby Brown and Billie Eilish were talking about texting Drake about boys, and you just hear A minor. People are like, "What? Why? Why is he calling him a pedophile?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Before we get to Rod,
yeah, I was going to say the greatest diss track actually is the one that Fleetwood Mac did, where they wrote a song and everybody was shitting on each other, and then they had to perform it live to each other's faces. What the hell was that song? Where Stevie Nicks is yelling at Lindsey Buckingham, and Lindsey Buckingham's like, "Fuck," they're playing the guitar. What was that song? God.
Really? See,
Yeah.
I don't even know. Like,
that's one of my favorite bands has one. Like the whole album is basically a diss track
a diss track, right?
about the band. Like the lead singer wanted to quit the band. The producer talked to him and just make an album about it. And like all of the songs are how much he hates his other band members and the recording industry.
It was a song,
but yeah.
The song I was thinking of was Silver Springs, I think.
Okay.
But before that, Lindsey Buckingham did one where he dissed Stevie Nicks and called it Go Your Own Way. It was him telling her to fuck off. So they were doing songs to each other in the same band, which is kind of fucked up.
No Doubt, too.
Wow.
No Doubt as well, yes.
Yep.
Wow.
History of people dissing their own bandmates.
Yeah.
So, wow. So, Rod, to answer your question, I'm not sure. I remember the Cube NWA thing. I'm not sure, Rod. The problem is, Rod, I think comparing this one to other ones is because it's a different era with, again, Spotify and being able to drop on YouTube and having people have like literally reactions. Like Drake dropped one of them, and then I went to Twitter, and then people were already reacting. Like they were already breaking it down before I even heard the song. So like things are moving so fast. You almost have to, Rob, we almost have to like take a step back and wait, I think, for a couple, you know what I mean, years to really look back and be like, okay, well, this was that, you know, the gravity of this was you know, the gravity was different, or you know, whatever. Again, it's just different eras. Like, Doug, real quick before we have to get to our guest, but like to me, it's just like it's when people compare LeBron and they always want to compare him to Michael Jordan and blah 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 blah. But no one really ever compared Michael Jordan to Bill Russell, did they? Did they ever compare him to Kareem? Did they ever compare him to you know, like maybe Magic Johnson, but you know, Dr. J. I don't remember them saying, you know, Michael Jordan and Dr. J. Like they're different eras. Can't we just have really good people in different eras and just be fine? Do we have to go down this road where we always compare things and things have to always up one each other and all that? So yeah, it was pretty epic. And I don't know how long that went though, Rod, because this was, you know, this was epic at some point too, because at some point, y'all, like my kids really kept me in this. Doug was like, that's why I'm not in it. My kids kept me in this, Renee. If it was, you know, we're talking about moms today, but if it wasn't for my kids, I wouldn't be in it. So there was one time where we just sat down and we watched them all. And then we're like, let's play Kendrick's, that last one that I played. And I'm telling you, I haven't had a positive reaction to a song that I first heard. Then I heard we were all up dancing, and I'm like, "This is over. This whole rap thing. This thing is over." It was a knockout punch.
Like it's at a different level than you would expect a diss track to be already. But also, as you say, I was listening to Euphoria or Meet the Grams, I can't remember, and my kid was sending me memes about it, and I was like, I didn't even know you knew who these people were, because like,
yeah.
So without further ado, we'll probably talk about this more because we're not done with this. I mean, we're going to let our guests jump into and see if they have an opinion on any of this, because it's crossed all kinds of barriers. People who don't even like follow rap or into it or trying to figure out what the hell's going on. For the record though, y'all, it's over. I'm pretty sure. I don't think there's no reason. Drake responded with a horrible, in my opinion, the worst series. What was it? Heart 6. That was bad. It was bad. And then I don't think Kendrick has to say anything else. He has the number one song in the land. It's going crazy. It's going to be it's a summer hit already. It's just done. It was just a knockout punch. It was over. So anyway, and it's funny because people are like, well, do they have to? We're in this era of receipts, Renee. Does Drake have to prove that Kendrick's wife, and does Kendrick have to? No one has to prove anything because it's a rap beef. We weren't asking Jay-Z and fucking Ice Cube for receipts about, you know, Dr. Dre. So like, I mean, again, there were some pretty nasty things that probably should be receipted, but it's a rap thing. Who cares, right? Or no?
Agreed.
I think if you're going to take the accusation seriously, then you need receipts. But if you're just enjoying the song, whatever. Because I've seen it very seriously, and it's like, okay, just because Drake said that doesn't make it true. Like that's not how things work. I could say anything about someone I don't like. It doesn't mean that I'm telling the truth about them.
Well, the thing I struggle with the most, and we'll bring on our guest right after this, is that I don't
5 minutes later, we'll bring on
I
our
don't
guest.
approve. Cube have receipts. That's cool. Cool. I don't appreciate the word pedophile being used to anyone unless there's receipts. Putting that on anyone, true or false, is not good, especially a black man. I don't care if another black man's doing it. Don't care. I don't like it. It's just really bad, and it's really hard for someone to wipe that stench off of you, even if it's untrue. So that's the one I really want to receive for. And apparently there's a whole lot of things out there with Drake already. So y'all can go search and do your thing. But at this point, I'm not going to go search and do my thing. What I'm going to do my thing is we're going to bring our wonderful guest on so we can talk about mothers, Doug. And since we're not mothers, we are close to a couple of them. Actually, we're close to more than a few. We live with, you live with one and I live with one, but
True.
And we have cool ass mother friends like ABC, who's been on the stream more than once and is a wonderful friend of the show, supporter of the show, friend of ours. So and we also have Jen Mann, who wants to throw punch you.
Yeah.
Hopefully not us.
I was gonna say she will, but like no. Well, she might if I just keep talking and don't bring her on, right, Doug?
I think so at this point.
Without further ado, Doug, I guess you can bring them both up, and so we don't do it at the same time. What's up, Jen? What's up, ABC?
What's up? Hey.
All right. So before we start, ABC, let's start with you. What do you have in your glass? What are you drinking?
I'm drinking Shorts beer. It's a German style black ale from Black Horizon here in Willowbrook, Illinois. It's pretty good. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm drinking Stag Junior with a pineapple lemonade ice cube in it from Double Fifty.
Dang, fancy.
Mm-hmm. You already know.
Yeah,
it's not a porter.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Jen, all right, Jen, what are you drinking? Are you drinking anything this evening with us or no?
I'm not this evening. We were just talking that the last time I was on here, I lost my voice since I was having tea, and I should be doing it again tonight because I don't have a voice, so I'm not drinking because I'm on antibiotics.
So, well, you definitely don't want to mix those two. So
no, so I have a Coke.
Coke. We always say drink what you like. So in
yeah,
this case, drink what you have to, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of these days I'll come on and be able to drink a beer with you guys.
One of these days.
One of these days.
And that will be the best day.
Well, it's nice to see all of y'all on Mother's Day. Thanks for joining us and taking Doug's invitation. Doug, thanks for doing this because it was my idea and you literally just ran with it, and 2 minutes later it was all done. It was crazy. So cheers to you. Cheers to you for that. Renee, since you are the mom here as a host, you can start us off with if there's something you want to talk about. I got a couple things to say.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking it might be fun, and like however you guys want to approach this question. If you want to be funny about it, serious about it, somewhere in between. What is it that you really want for Mother's Day? Like that thing you're probably not gonna get.
For me, I never really asked for anything. I never asked for anything for myself. And especially now, with me being an empty nester, when my kids were little, I used to just want peace. Like, I didn't want to go to dinner. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to hear my name called. I just wanted one day of not being a mom on Mother's Day. Mm-hmm. And I never got it. But now, with being an empty nester, I don't think I'm still going to get it because my kid is already working my nerves. So, yeah.
What about you, Jen?
I think I'm the same. I used to always want a day off. I used to always say, send me to a hotel by myself and it'd be the best day ever. Like, my kids are now, I've got a junior in high school and a kid who just finished his freshman year of college and came home today and dumped all of his shit. We can swear on here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Dumped all, as I do it, dumped all his shit in my, front hall. And I don't think he even knows it's Mother's Day on Sunday. Like we're not. No, I told everyone in my family, I'm like, don't remind him. Let's just see if he remembers, because I'm gonna dine out for a year on that when he forgets. Because my daughter, she already has a card for me. She bought me 2 cards, but with my credit card, of course, because So she's like, I thought I couldn't decide, so I wanted to get them both for you. But I really never ask for anything, or I get myself something, or it's like something dumb that I want. I want. I spend a lot of time on TikTok, and they keep showing us those cleaning brush things that like magically like clean your whole shower. Have you guys seen these things? Like, I don't know. I'm obsessed. And so I ordered myself one because I was like, I'm getting a brush. So I bought myself a clean. But if someone else bought that for me, I would kick their ass, right? Like if my husband was like, look what I got you a mop. I'd be like, fuck you. But because I bought it, like I'm okay with it. So
would you beat them with said mop?
Probably, yeah, probably. Yeah.
My husband's English, and in the UK it's called Mothering Sunday. It's a different day. And he said, like, when he was growing up, it was like, oh, it's like a day that, like, you spend with your kids. And I was like, that's what moms do all the time. That's not a special day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
And then do you guys have, like, moms that live close enough that they're, like, guilting you to come see them on Mother's Day?
My mom is 7 hours drive away.
My mom is about an hour, maybe 40 minutes to an hour. And my mom, she be like, look, you could show up if you want to. I may be here. I may not be here. So it's like a crapshoot. Like I may go to church. I may not. Like, okay, you know what? You let me know if you're going to be there and I'll come see you. She was like, oh, you don't necessarily have to. I was like, you know what? Okay, fine. It is what it is.
That's nice. No, my mom's like, I don't know, 15 minutes away from me. And she's just like, you're coming, right? Like you're going to stop by. You're going to bring the kids. Literally saw her last night for an hour, but that's on Mother's Day. So I got to go back on Mother's Day, right? And so I'm going to try not to be that mom. I'm trying not to do that, but we'll see. It's in my DNA, so I'm sure I'll revert to it at some point.
Yeah, no, mostly I just want to be in charge of the TV and brunch. I live in a tourist town, so like brunch on any Sunday is out of the question.
Yeah.
Brunch on Mother's Day, like I don't even want to know what it's like out there. I don't want to be in a position to know what the lines look like.
No, I think my husband's getting a bucket of chicken and calling it a day.
Just Uber eating some food and I'm okay because I'm not cooking anyway.
So what I'm hearing is that it's hard to shop for mothers on Mother's Day.
Probably. Yeah.
I think they're saying more like they don't want you to shop; they just want you to leave them alone.
Well, now,
there you go. Yeah.
Right.
I do want the gifts, but I want, my husband gets the gifts with his money, not 14-year-old money.
And do you give them a list, Renee, or do you just like expect him to just know?
He's a really good gift giver, but this year he did get a request because the thing that he and our teenager conspired to get me, they couldn't get the pre-order in time. So he did get a clue this time.
Okay.
Now, if he was bad at gifts, I might say no gifts. Just forget it.
Yeah.
So I live with one of those moms that don't want any gifts. So then I had a conversation with my boys this week and I said, what do y'all think about me not giving a gift to your mother? And my youngest was like, why? And I was like, first of all, she's not my mother. And he was like, what? Like he literally lost his mind. And I'm like, second of all, she runs around this house saying she doesn't want anything. So what am I supposed to do? Like, y'all tell me, y'all the kids, tell me. So then I don't know. He's like, well, you should get her something. Like, that is the mother of your kids. And I'm like, I got it. And I'm sitting here asking you what I should do. So then what I told him is that, so then what happened was right after that, I had like these gifts that I had gotten, and I just gave them to them and said, give them to your mother, give them to her for me because she doesn't want me to buy anything. So she'll get angry at me, not angry, but like it won't hit as good as if I just pass those gifts off to my kids and then they give her, and she was like, yeah. And then if I give her something, she's like,
I told you. Yeah,
right.
okay.
I told you.
That's fair.
Right. She'll smile, but she'll give me that I told you look. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
So I don't know. What do y'all think about that?
A lot of men will say, well, I didn't give my wife anything. She's not my mom.
Yeah.
They've got kids that are old enough to even say, like, to even know what Mother's Day is or to like do anything. And I'm like, oh, so you really appreciate like all the work she's doing in your household of raising your little one, but she's not your mother.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough because I'm one of those where I'm like, I don't want anything, but if I don't get something, I'm irritated. But yet I don't give him a list either. So that's why I guess what I really want, like, Greg, I would recommend get her a card, get her like a really nice card and write in it. Like, don't just be like, I saw this card and I thought of you, like, and sign your damn name. No, like I appreciate like these, like, I want like a bullet list. Like, this is the shit you did this year. And thank you. Like, I know you're not my mother, but you did all this stuff and I appreciate that. And then I want him to like give me just like a gift card to like a spa or something and be like, I'll see you in 24 hours. Like that. Yeah, like, no, I don't think any mom would be upset with that. I think every mom would be like, good, I'm gone. Bye.
Yeah, I don't ask for anything, but I would definitely take a spa, massage, something just so I can get away and forget that I'm a mom for a day.
Yeah.
So
when I hear moms say they want to be at home on Mother's Day doing arts and crafts with the kids or something, I'm like, blink twice if you need help.
Well, and if you're married to a woman like that, you already know that. So she's already given you a list. Like, there's no question what she wants. Like, those women, they let you all know. It's the rest of us that are kind of like, the just so mothers, the okay mothers that are kind of like, no one's going to make crafts with us today. Like, no one's going to give me a mug that says I'm the best mom. But I would like a card and I would like some acknowledgement. And that's why my son will be dead on Sunday, because he will like, I'm going to wait till like 5 p.m. finally and be like, do you have anything you want to say to me? Like, at all? Like, at all?
So does this is this the same deal with holidays, like Christmas and stuff? Same thing? Same gift giving kind of thing, or what?
Yeah, for me it is.
Tell me the difference.
For me, it is. When I tell you I do not ask or expect anything, I think what happens is it drives my kids crazy, because like my oldest daughter who's in the military, she would try to fish with my youngest daughter. What should we get mom? Because I don't ask for anything. It's like I can be real. You can give me a piece of paper and say I love you. I'm going to act like you just gave me the biggest diamond in the world. Like, I'm really just that simple. Like, I don't expect or ask for anything. And then especially for my kids, if they were to spend their money on a gift for me, like, why did you spend this money? You're trying to save for a house. You're in college, which is technically my money. Chill out.
I think for like Christmas is a little bit different. I feel like there's always kind of a list there's like a running list throughout. I feel like starting in like October, I'm like, if anybody wants to get me, something, this is a good idea. I mean, my family knows slippers are always appreciated. I love a good pair of slippers. That's not hard. and then I think, like, I don't know. I want them to, like, again, like, acknowledge and like just think about it. Like, just think about something when they think of me. My parents, I'm at that age now where it's like my parents, like, they have everything. They have more money than me. They've got shit that they don't need. Like, what am I supposed to get them? And so a few years ago, I started giving my mother, I did it when my kids were small, and now I'm doing it for her as she's a senior citizen. I call it a yes day. And I tell her that there's one day she can pick. She's got to work it out with me with my schedule, but like for the whole day, like, we can do whatever she wants. Like, if she's like, can we go to Walmart and walk around? Yes. Can we go get coffee? Yes. Can we go to the movies? Yes. Like, and I just, whatever she wants to do. And now that my kids are older, like, I would like that from them because I don't get to see them very much. So that would be kind of nice if you have older kids.
Wait, so question. Okay, you say you have one that is freshman in college and a junior in high school.
Right.
Renee, what are your kids?
Oh, I just have the one. Oh. She's 14, but in middle school.
Okay, so I'm the one with the older. So I have a 20. Well, she'll be 24. My oldest will be 24 in a couple of weeks, and then I have a 19-year-old who just also wrapped up her college year. So it's like, for me, it's like, for the most part, I raised my kids as a single mom. So getting off work, having to go to 50 million fucking activities, homework, school. When I tell you it's just about peace, for me, that's exactly what it's just about. He's like not wanting to do anything. And it's so funny because like last year I started celebrating the empty nesting. Like, oh my God, yeah, she's going to college and I can't wait. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and I tell people it's not the fact that I'm celebrating that she's out the house, because my kids can always come back home if they have to. I'm celebrating the reduced sense of obligation. No parent-teacher conferences after work, no dance, no cheerleading, no whatever. You know what I'm saying? So when Mother's Day comes, it's like, okay, now just give me a day where I don't have to do anything. And I kind of stuck with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like my family's a gift-giving family. We give gifts for everything.
Okay.
And I'm a Leo, so I expect it all. But I project that expecting it all onto my husband and kid too. So they don't like, it's not like, oh, I have to have a whole birthday month and you get one day. It's like they get their whole thing too if they want it. My husband doesn't want anything but to like have a piece of cake and be left alone on his birthday. So that's what he got all weekend. His birthday was last weekend. Here's your cake. Here's a nice dinner. I'll leave you alone.
Oh, I'm doing a whole month. I used to tell my kids, so when my kids were younger, you know, I used to always do big birthdays for them. So, but when it came to March, even though my birthday is March 12th, from March 1st to the end of March, don't ask for anything. That's the 1 month that I would take for myself to stock up on just the basic necessities, getting a coat, getting jeans, getting underwear. Because you know, throughout the years, like you're buying so much for your kids. It's like, I don't have to use my birthday month for me to stock up on. And I'm like, don't ask for anything because it's going to be a no. If you, even if field trip money, go ask your grandparents at this point.
I like it though. No, I mean, like I said, I'm a Leo. I'm fully in favor of that. Like, do it. How do you deal with birthdays, Jen?
Oh, I'm bad. I'm a very bad mother. My kids have the same birthday, 2 years apart.
Wow.
So their whole life they've had to have one birthday party. Now I did at least get them 2 cakes. They each got their own cake. And they could invite their own friends, but I would always be like, let's go roller skating. Like I'd always try to think of something they could do where like, 40 kids could come, so I wouldn't have to do like 2 parties. And yeah, so no, I'm bad. We don't really go overboard. They're the most overboard. My husband, I forget his birthday a lot of years. I've been known to forget it because he's the person who's like, I don't want anything, don't buy me anything. I'll get mad at you if you buy something, And then my birthday, I am smack dab in the middle of a week between my mother and my father. And so that's always fun. So we have to do we do like a family thing all week for all 3 of us or whatever. And so I never get my own cake or birthday party
your
either.
Birthday and now your kids share their birthday.
I know, right? Isn't that weird? And then the one who doesn't, we forget him. But no, I have, my cousins are like you, where they do like a whole like month. It's like, 30 days of 30 or whatever. And I'm like, oh, fuck you. Like by day 25, like I'm out of ideas. Like, I don't even know here's 25 paper clips. Like, I don't know what to do like at that point. So I appreciate that you can do that, Renee, and that you enjoy that. But for the rest of us, like if you could just bring the bar down, like,
I'm not a Pinterest mom.
Okay, good.
That's not what's happening. I'm not like every day you get a cupcake or anything like that. It's like, what do you want to do this weekend? You get to pick what's on TV. Like,
okay.
No. Don't get me wrong. I'm with you. I'm like, I will pull one out a couple times a year where you can tell that I have access to the internet and craft supplies. Like, now that it's not required in elementary school anymore, maybe like every 3 or 4 years. So no, it's not like that.
You know what's funny? So for me, my youngest, and I think I was a little touched by this. What 19-year-old do you know wants to hang out with her mom for her birthday down at her college? I mean, She really made it a big. So my daughter's birthday is February 22nd, right? And she was really in a mood, like, oh my God, because we already have plans for me to go that Saturday. And she was like, I'm really sad that you're not going to be here for my actual birthday because I'm used to you coming into my room saying happy birthday, and it's going to hit different. Now she goes to school in Urbana-Champaign, like 2.5 hours away from where I live. So it was so funny that I got up that morning about 5 o'clock in the morning, and I kind of texted her and said, happy birthday. I wasn't expecting for her to be up, but she was. So we were talking, and as we were talking, I was actually getting dressed and getting ready to go surprise her at her college. I literally drove 2.5 hours. I made her a cake. And it was so funny when I got there, and I'm literally watching her walk back into her dorm room because she was doing her hair in the bathroom. And I surprised her. And we had a whole day of it. And she's like, well, you're coming back to hang out with me and my friends on my birthday, right? I'm like, what 19-year-old kid do you know wants to hang out with your mom and her friends on her birthday? But I drove back on that Saturday to do just that.
Oh, that's nice.
But the twist is, I said, I hope you enjoy your 19th birthday because this is the last birthday I'm planning on. That's it. That's it.
That's kind of how my 19-year-old was this year. Is your daughter a freshman?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he's a freshman. Now, I don't have that excuse. He's only 45 minutes away from me, so I can't really make but he made a big deal. He wasn't, my daughter was the one who was like, so you're not going to come home for your birthday? And he was like, no, God, no, I'll be in college. I'll be out with my friends, and she literally has never had a birthday without him. He hasn't had a couple, but she's never had one without him. And so she was sort of like, oh, and so I was like, well, this is good because then we can do everything you want to do. You've got the whole day. You finally get to be the queen day, and like literally at like 3:30 that afternoon, he like called me and he was like, so you guys are really not going to come today, like at all? Like, I'm not going to see you. And I said, you told me you were busy. And he's like, well, I mean, I'm not busy till like, 10. Like, he's like, you could come and take me to dinner. And
you can come and pay for dinner for me.
Right.
Great.
And I was like, and I'd already bought his sister a cake. I hadn't bought him a cake yet because I didn't think I was going to see him. So we had to run out to the grocery store and buy some shitty cake that just was like, I'm just like scribbling a name on it, and we drove there and had dinner with him. And my daughter was thrilled because she wanted to celebrate with him. But I was just sort of like, what is happening? But I was like, Shalanda, I was like, we're not doing, I'm like, if you want this next year, you come home. Like, I'm not coming back here again.
No, I said I'm not financing it. I said, look, but the difference between my kids, my oldest daughter, she's like more reserved. I can buy her outfit, whatever. She's, she's okay with celebrating her birthday alone. My youngest, she's more sociable. I said, look here, I'm not paying for hair. I'm not paying for nails. This is it. Next year, I'm using your birthday money to take me on a trip. Are you serious? Yes, I'm very serious. I'm like, it is what it is at this point. I've done my job. Now it's your turn.
I have a question for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So on your Mother's Day, or even birthdays, you want to extrapolate it however it is. Do you do things where it's like, okay, it's my day, whatever that day is, would it be Mother's Day, your birthday? Is it like, I have a particular, like, I want a certain meal and a certain dessert? Like, is there something special? Like in our house, what we do with birthdays or anything like that is like, all right, your day. Do you want to order food? Do you want us to make food? What do you want for dessert? That's all you. What do you want? That's how we do it here. Do you guys do anything similar to that? And if so, like, what's your go-to meal then? I guess is my question.
No, mine is very versatile. Like, I'm just like, whatever y'all feel like doing. Like, they know what I like to eat. So it's like, I'm really simple. Hell, you can give me a gift card to Uber Eats. Uber Eats something. I'm okay. So like, I'm pretty open. So yeah, I can't say that I have anything in particular.
Like if it's for me, like I just don't want to make the decision. Just make the decision. And they know, like, if you're going to bring me a cake or a dessert of some kind, it better be chocolate. And they know that by now. Like there's like, I'm not wasting calories on vanilla, carrot cake. Fuck that. Like it's got to be chocolate or we're not doing it. And then when it's when it's my husband's birthday, he doesn't want to do anything. He doesn't even want to acknowledge it. And when it's the kid's birthday, again, they had to decide on a restaurant together where we could go. Looking back now, like I feel so bad. Like now I'm like, we should have at least like made them have a separate day.
You said that your daughter was like, oh, but I really want to spend my birthday with my brothers. So like,
I mean, yeah. So when they get to therapy and they complain about this, I can be like, you guys actually wanted to be together for the most part. And it's and for several years it was always Red Robin. It was the one restaurant they could agree on, and so we'd go there.
At least they have decent burgers.
Yeah, I guess so. They like the dessert.
You both make me feel so high maintenance because I'm like, yes, I pick what we eat. I pick what we watch on TV. I pick whether we sit in the living room or you coming to me in the bedroom. Like I dictate it all. There's plenty of days where I will say, I don't want to be responsible for making decisions for what we're going to eat or whatever. And but that's like when I have decision burnout. When it is my day, it will be done the way I want it. But it does change. I don't think I have any go-tos because some days I'm like really in the mood for something specific, and other days I'm like, we live in California, we're gonna get Mexican food, obviously.
So let's talk about in 2 days. So in my house, the lady of the house picks the whole meals on Sunday. And as I went and looked at our meal plan, because we have like a spreadsheet where we keep our meals so everybody knows what's going on. And my kids' meal plan, we all have a week that we meal plan. So this week, this is my week. And I just looked here and I see literally nothing from breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Go ahead. I'm with your back on it. She's like, I'm done. Nope.
Right. So yeah, and she hasn't said like I want y'all to pick it. She said, I just don't know what I want to do. And we're like, hey, we'll cook for you. But I even told her yesterday, I was like, we got to know if you want ribs, we got to take them out, or wings, or whatever you want, we got to take them out. Nothing. So what are y'all specifically trying to do in 2 days? What is your plans? Do you have any plans? You want to be are you going out? Are you seeing your mom? What's going on specifically in 2 days? Renee, of course.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm going to be served breakfast in bed, which I'm going to tell you something. That happens almost every weekend anyway. I get to be very lazy in my house and I like it that way. But I've been promised a home cooked meal.
If you got it, you got it. If you
Next
got
time
it, you got
be
it.
Renee.
I feel like this is like, I feel very like on the hot seat. Like, oh.
You're such a Leo though. It makes so much sense.
But I was promised that it'd be a home cooked breakfast. And I'll probably say like, when you go shopping for that, get something sweet for the end. Because I'm a sweet breakfast person. And then from there, I think we're probably going to do like a DoorDash for dinner so I don't have to leave the house. Because like I said, I live in a tourist town and this is peak tourism time where I am. So no, I'm not going to wait in line to eat somewhere. That's not going to happen. That's not my idea of a relaxing day.
Yeah. So like Doug and Greg, they follow me. And they know I cook a lot. And I cook. I cook a lot of different type of dishes. There's no way in hell on God's green earth that I'm cooking on Sunday. I'm not doing it. I refuse. It was so funny. My daughter, like, she came home last Sunday. I just cooked for the first time, maybe like Wednesday. Like, I'm tapped out. I'm not doing it. Get somebody else to do it. Go find a new family temporarily. I'm not doing it.
New family temporarily. All right, Jen, do you have anything specific for this, or I think we kind of went over yours a little bit?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, my husband, like, we don't live. I live in Kansas, so no tourists come here, but it's still busy on Mother's Day.
There,
the Red Lobster is still packed, and so there's no place to go. And I hate crowds. Like, I don't go out on Valentine's Day, like New Year's. Like, I hate people. I'm not going out there, and it's Mother's Day. Why would I do that to myself? And so usually my husband grills because that's all he knows how to do. Like, he'll grill out and I'm fine with that. And he'll pick whatever. My husband's a cheap bastard, so he'll go to the grocery store, and if hamburgers on sale, we have hamburgers. If steaks on sale, we'll have steaks. So who knows? And then we'll have to go visit my mother and kiss the ring and thank her for giving birth to me.
Thanks for spawning me.
Exactly. Thank you for bringing me into this world. I appreciate you.
I don't know if my mom is watching. I doubt she is, but this is the relationship I have with my mom. Her main gift for me is I got us these matching necklaces, and on the outside it says "Be kind," and then you slide it out and it says "Of a bitch."
Yeah. That's great.
So yeah. So hopefully she's not watching because it's not getting there till tomorrow. But I saw those and I was like, my mom would love that.
My kids could buy that for me for Mother's Day. I would take that gift. That's a good gift. I'll take that. I like that.
Yeah, that it's so it's us. My youngest daughter and I, we're gonna get matching tattoos.
Oh,
Yeah.
My mom's been on a journey with accepting my tattoos and finally embracing them, and now she's talking about getting one. It's been a really long 20 some odd years.
wow.
I wanted to get one. I was supposed to go to see my daughter in Arizona, but unfortunately I have to push that back. And it's so interesting. She's like, Mom, I'm gonna get a matching tattoo with you, but she's scared of needles. I'm like, how is that gonna work? But my youngest, she's all for like when, where, let's do this. I'm ready for it, because
Suggestion: if you can find a female-run shop.
Oh yeah, one right around the corner.
Yeah, the vibes are different. They're more willing to use like numbing cream after the outline's done. Like nobody's gonna be on your shit if you're like crying a little bit. It's okay if you need to. Like I love it. Ever since I started going to the shop I go to here, even if I'm going somewhere else to get a tattoo, I'm like, who runs it? How many men are there? Because tattoo culture has its shit, but there's a lot of people out there changing it. So
yeah, that's the one thing I battle my mom on, because like I have tattoos, right? So I'm not gonna tell my kids not to get them. My only thing was that I used to tell my girls, I'm not signing for you to get a tattoo before you turn 18. I'm not doing that. Now, if you want to go when you turn 18, I'll go with you. You know what I'm saying? So, I try to school, like, be careful as to where you get it, what you're going to get, make sure it's meaningful. But I'm not going to say, hey, you shouldn't. I mean, I have like multiple tattoos. So it's like, I'm not going to say you not to get it. But it's also like dope that like my girls, like, they want to get matching tattoos with their mom. We don't know what the hell we're going to get yet, but we're going to get one.
Once again, I'm the resident bad mom, I guess. I have no tattoos.
That's okay.
And but my 17-year-old does. No, but I signed the paperwork. No, what I did was, in my defense, I made a bet, and I don't, the Lannisters always pay their debts, and so I made this. I did not think she could do it. Like I really did not think she could do it, and she did it, and she hit this goal, and I was like, damn it! Like now I gotta. So not only did I sign, I had to pay for it. So yeah, but now I've held the line now. Like now I know like she can do it and she could handle it. Because then I thought, okay, well, she's gonna hate it because it's gonna hurt, and no, she loves it. Now she's addicted and she wants 18 more. And I'm like, well, that's on you. Like once you're 18, you can figure it out. But right now,
yeah, it's about guidance. So for me, I'm like, you know what, you are young, you are a Black female, you're gonna get judged harder than our counterparts. So you have to be careful what you get and where you get it. So that I'm not going to tell you not to get it. Just be mindful of what you get and where you get. So far she's been cool, and I'm okay with that. Yeah,
Yeah, it's funny because I feel like tattoos are so much more mainstream now. So many people have them.
Yeah,
like, you would think that nobody could make a comment on it. The irony is that the people who are shitty about it they'll be like, "What about if an older person comes in?" I'm like, older people don't care. Like they're too old to care. If they're older than me, they're definitely too old to care.
Yeah.
It's the people my age and younger that are snotty about it. And it's funny because I'm going into like a new career path, and someone asked me like, well, what standards are you going to use to choose like where you want to work once you get all your certifications? I'm like, I mean, I know what I look like and I'm not changing it. I'm going to go get this all covered. So like whoever hires me, that's probably going to be the place that's the right fit. Like I have knuckle tattoos. Like,
yeah.
But that's why I always volunteered at the elementary school, because I have knuckle tattoos and piercings in my face. So I'm like, they have to know me to not like make shitty assumptions about me that they'll then project onto my kid.
Exactly.
We were in the ER the other night, and the ER doctor had tattoos all the way up his arms. So at this point, like it doesn't even faze me anymore. I feel like it is super mainstream.
Yeah.
And I feel like it doesn't, I don't know.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying though, that people can be really shitty about it. Hers is on her ankle. So some of her jobs, she just had to wear like high socks. And that's why she put it there, because she knew like they're going to make me cover it up sometimes. And so
it kills me. I'll go like on the rare occasion, I'll go through like a Del Taco drive-through, and they have to wear the flesh colored sleeves to cover all their tattoos. And I'm like, it's Del Taco.
Like a step up from Taco Bell.
Right? It's like, okay, so you guys have fake Mexican food and French fries. Great. It doesn't. You can have a tattoo. It doesn't mean anything.
All I care is, did you wash your hands? That's all I care about. You know.
Right? And you know, if somebody has a nicely healed tattoo, they at least know how to wash properly. So actually,
that's true.
Wait, so I have a question for moms. Do you guys have what in my household we call it keep a real moment? So it's so funny because like I've always been the type of mom to keep it 100 with my kids about the stupid shit that I did, because I was like, I didn't want anyone else being able to come to my kids and say, hey, your mom did this, because I didn't want to be a hypocrite, you know. So it's like by the time like someone came like, hey, your mom was like this, she's like, I already know. She already told us, and she showed us pictures, and she gave us receipts. Like it is what it is. Do you guys have like those keep a real moments with your kids?
I answer any question honestly, even if it really sucks. And mine started asking things like, I would walk right into it. Like we'd be in the car and like Queen would come on, and we'd be talking about Queen. It's like, well, who's the lead singer or whatever? I would be honest. Oh, it's Freddie Mercury. He died. Oh, what he died from? Oh, he died from AIDS. Well, what's AIDS? Oh, so you're 4, and we're gonna. I think it's worked out because I hear a lot that I think other parents don't get to hear.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think it worked out.
Yeah, I decided I had a good friend who had her kids were about 5 years ahead of mine. Mm-hmm. And she gave me great advice. And she was like, you know, they're gonna ask these questions and they're gonna learn from their idiot friends, or they're gonna learn from you, or they're gonna go Google it, and you know, who knows what they're gonna find. And so they're like, so I just tell my kids, like, whatever you want, you know, come to me. So yeah, so I'm kind of like you, Renee. My 5-year-old came to me and asked me about, you know, sex. And I was just like, And I was like, are we going to do this? Like, you're 5. So I'm trying to explain to like a 5-year-old. He burst into tears and practically passed out, you know, and he was like, I don't want to do that. And I'm like, well, no, you shouldn't be wanting to do it. You're 5. Like, no, not now. Many years down the road, like oh God, I've already fucked it up. Right. And so, but now it's like, my kids are like, yeah, they tell me like everything, which is great, but it's also like horrifying. But I tell them, but it's also like, but I tell them things too. Like my son went to Padre for spring break this year. It's his first spring break he's ever gone by himself. He went to Padre with his frat, and he's telling me, you know, I'm going to Padre, and I was like, bitch, I've been to Padre. And he's like, what? And I was like, oh, I have done spring break at Padre, boy. Like, I will tell you stories that will make your hair curl. Like, and so I'm just like, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, you know. And he was just like, how do you know these things? And I was like, do you think I was just born?
Really want to know how I know these things?
Right? I was like, we needed gas money, and I got into a wet t-shirt contest, son. Like, I mean, like, you know, it's like, you have no idea who your mother is. Like, you know?
It's so funny, my daughter hit me up. She was like, Mom, before I watch this Freaknik documentary, are you in it? I was like, go. I was in 98. I don't know what footage you're gonna pull. So but I mean, I think I said, from what I remember in my sober mind, I was pretty innocent. I don't know what I can tell you in my drinking mind. So I don't know. So who knows? She was like, it's so hard raising you. I said, you know, don't try to raise me then.
Yeah. See, I was such a boring teenager. I was straight edge. I was still Mormon when I was a teenager. I was like following the rules about it too. So all my crazy happened after I moved out of the house. And so when crazy comes into my house, I'm like, this is not fair. I'm paying for my husband's sins. Like, I was good.
But you know,
I think that's how my husband feels. My husband's like a preacher's son, and he never did anything. Like, he's never been drunk. He's never like, you know, whereas my kids are like, you know, well, I won't get into it because my son needs a job, but we've had conversations about things. We've done some things, you know, and my husband's just like, I can't even believe this. And I was like, you know.
But you know, it's so funny because my mom, she has 3 girls, and I'm in the middle. And she'll say, oh, Shalana was the easiest. She was the one that you had to get out the house. She was the bookworm. She was whatever. It was college when she's, you know, when I did the Fool. Like, yeah, that was like a whole different piece. Like, yeah, I really broke out of my shell in college. But here's the thing. I will say this though. It wasn't that I broke out of my shell where I was just like, far right. Like my mom, and this is the one thing I truly, truly appreciate about my mom. And that this is how I raised my girls. My mom was not strict. When we were coming up, we were always able to have way phone calls. We were always able to have way companies because that's how she felt like this is how you get to know who their friends were. So like when we went away, it was like, it wasn't a shock to us. Like, this is how we knew how to handle. For me, it was like, okay, when I started acting up, not so much as being hard-headed, it was like, okay, let me just branch out a little bit more because I was so, compared to my two sisters, I was a little bit more reserved. So when I got to college, it was like, oh, wait a minute, hold up. So yeah, I was the first one of my sisters to get knocked up. But I was 21 when I had my first kid. So it's not like I was in my teenage. I was 21. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, now that I look back at it, to be honest with you, I'm glad I went and got it out the way because my oldest sister, Chan, if you're watching this, I love you to death. My oldest sister, she's 51, and her husband to be 66. They still have to get through high school and junior high with their kids. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. So I'm kind of glad I was a little bit irresponsible at an early age.
Yeah, it couldn't be me. I could not. Someone said, "Oh God, this." So I'm back in school, and I have a 19-year-old classmate in one of them. I mean, I'm sure I have lots of 19-year-old classmates, but I happen to know that this girl's 19, and I'm taking American Sign Language, so we're learning how to ask like, "How old are you? What's your birthday? Whatever." And I told her my 40th birthday is coming up, and she's like, "Oh, my mom was 40 when she had me." And one, it's like, okay, so now I at least know that I'm not actually old enough to be her mom. That's nice. But two, I could not imagine being as selfless as you have to be even be pregnant at this age. I was like so stubborn. I'm tired all the time. I'm in pain. I could not possibly handle a newborn or a toddler like at this place in my life. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, so my oldest daughter, I was 20 when I got pregnant with her, 21 when I had her. My youngest daughter, I was 25 when I got pregnant, 26 when I had her. And I was going through school full time. I was working full time. And it's so funny because my oldest just said, by the time you're my age at 24, because she's about to do 24, she was like, you are already a parent. She was like, I'm having a hard time with this dog. Yeah. Why are you a parent? And then my youngest, who was 19, she said at 20, just a year after me, you were about to be a parent. What were you thinking? You had no business being a parent. I said, look, true enough, I had no business being a parent, but we made it. I may kill plants, but I raised you.
So not a plant mom then. Okay.
I'm not I'm barely a kid mom and a dog mom. You guys have been following my whole puppy journey. I'm not how the hell that happened. Like, what the hell? I raised kids and dogs magically somehow. And after this, I'm done. I'm done.
I got like the dumb shit idea to get a puppy last fall also, and I'm just like, what is what? And I picked a high energy breed, so on purpose. I knew what I was doing.
No, so Greg and Doug are on my page. So I have.
Oh, here we go.
Okay. So I have a 100-pound golden retriever. Okay.
Oh,
yes.
That's not the end of the story.
Well, that's not the end of the story. He's beautiful. Riley is sweet, but then I have an 8-pound Maltese Chihuahua mix. Who's the girl? She just had puppies 2 weeks ago by my golden retriever.
Oh,
look at their faces.
So
I have questions.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So I kid you not, I will go get them so you can see like the difference. Like, so on February 26th, I was working from home, and here's the thing. I take full responsibility. I do take full responsibility. One of them should have been fixed. My oldest, they're both the same age. My golden retriever, he listened to his vet. you know, I waited 2 years and then COVID happened. I was like, he's not going to be around other dogs. He's okay. We got her because one of her friends' moms couldn't take her, which is cool. And I'm like, he was trying, but it's like he was hitting the air. I was like, oh, there's nothing's going to happen. It's cool. February 26th, I'm sitting at my desk when I'm working from home. He found that sweet spot on this 8-pound dog. And I'm like, what the hell? And I called my daughter, and it's so funny because they interlocked. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm freaking out. Called the vet. I was like, just give him a few minutes. He's going to release, and which he did. I said, watch. It's going to be my fucking luck. She gets pregnant. My daughter was like, no, Mom, she's not going to get pregnant. I said, look, I got pregnant. I was the first time. It's going to happen. Watch. It's going to happen. Sure enough, it happened. 2 weeks later, I started to notice her change because dogs are not pregnant that long. They're only pregnant like 60 days. Took her to the vet. Sure enough, she was pregnant. This 8-pound dog doubled her size and she literally actually had 5 puppies, 5 huge puppies.
She had 5 puppies in that tiny body? What are you doing for her for Mother's Day?
Right?
Wait,
Jesus.
I can't.
What is happening right now?
When we first took her to the vet, when I first took her to the vet, they told me 3, but it was impossible that she, you know, she would be hiding puppies. So I'm like, oh, quit playing. You know, she's little. But I kid you not, on 2 weeks ago, which was April 25th, it was on a Thursday, she started going into labor. I'm freaking out. I don't know shit about birthing no puppies. I don't know a fucking thing about birthing puppies. And I kept reading like old, smaller dogs. You know, they have complications, and I'm scared for her. She birthed those puppies like a soldier. And those puppies came out big.
Are they as big as her?
Right?
You know what? Hold that phone. I'm about to go get one of these puppies.
Yes, I would like to see one.
I gotta see it. Yeah.
You gotta go see this.
Good.
I'll be right back.
Lord, what is happening right now?
The real hero mom is this little tiny Maltese.
That dog gets to do whatever she wants for Mother's Day. Like, what?
That comment where you're like, what are you doing for her for Mother's Day was like the best comment I've heard.
I mean, come on.
That poor dog. Like, I didn't really, I've
Yolanda's
seen all the...
burying the lead on this Mother's Day of hers. This is what we're celebrating now. Come on. A 5-pound dog with 5 puppies from a Labrador or whatever he was, a golden retriever? No.
Yeah. I will say I've seen it all on social media, but I didn't realize that the other dog was that small. I thought it was like the size of my Boston Terrier was like 25 pounds. That's what I thought the smaller dog was. No, I didn't realize it was like an 8-pound fucking dog. Holy shit.
Whenever I find out about a mix like that where it's like a freaking Great Pyrenees and a Chihuahua, I'm like, oh, I just really hope the Chihuahua is the boy.
Okay, so here's puppy number 1.
Oh,
Wait.
Where did the camera go?
Where'd it go?
Look at it.
Gosh.
Is that Chardonnay or cinnamon?
This is Chardonnay.
Okay.
That's the name after some type of liquor.
Like, oh my gosh. Like, how big are they going to get, these puppies?
The vet are saying between 20 and 40 pounds. This is Rain.
Oh, one.
We're trying to figure out who Black Baby is this. Her eyes are all the way up. Because once you see mom and dad, you're like, what the hell? Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay. Her eyes open. Here, take her. And then this is Cinnamon. What two unfortunately didn't make it. So these are the 3 healthy puppies.
Oh, look at it.
They're all like so cute and different. Look at them.
Okay,
So what
now,
do you?
Too many puppies.
What are you gonna do with them now?
I'm like, they have homes. I do have homes for them. I'm about to show you mom. Come here, come here, Riley. I'm about to show you dad.
Okay.
Riley, well, you can't pick Riley up. Riley's fucking huge.
Hold on.
Riley just ate the camera.
I can't go put them up without taking her.
Oh, don't lick me, dude. What the hell? I'm black. We in a black household.
Hey, Riley.
His head is bigger than the mom.
You can just see the head. Just
Yeah.
see how it is.
Yeah.
Okay, pass me nutmeg.
Hey, pass you.
Okay, come on, nutmeg. Oh wait, come here, nutmeg. Wait, bring her back. Bring her back. Come here, bring her back. She'll follow you. Riley, move.
No, that's a puppy.
Right
No,
now.
for a second, I thought that was the mom.
Right.
That was a
No,
mom. And they're like, hold it.
Bad. And that's the mom.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
girl. I think we
That's
need to
horrible.
toast her. Like, she needs a drink. Good girl, woman. What
Just
you
you,
did was
nutmeg.
amazing.
The puppies are almost as big as she is already, though, for real.
Yes. I would like to know where the black dog came from.
Me
That is-
too.
right?
Me too.
That is interesting. This is crazy. So for Mother's Day, are you getting everybody fixed, or what are we doing?
She's sick. Look, I don't ever want to do this shit again. Ever.
I bet your dog doesn't either.
Yeah, so mom is getting fixed. We have to wait 2 weeks until after she weans.
Okay.
Dad has an appointment. Dad is done. That's it.
Dad got, yeah, I was gonna say you got to get Dad done at least and get him snipped.
Never doing this again. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That
So
is crazy.
I'm just
That's why I have 2 boy dogs and they're both fixed, so we don't have any problems with any puppies, thank God.
Oh my God.
But geez, Louise, that is
poor dad.
wow.
That would be
Poor
fine.
Dad, fuck that.
Poor
My-
mom.
Poor
Mine
mom,
is
exactly.
And there's no other.
Dad
dogs.
lived his best life, and those puppies are going away. He doesn't even have to raise them. Fuck it.
That is
No.
really.
He doesn't have to pay child support. He doesn't have to help raise them.
No, he just
I go get a quick little
now
vasectomy.
he's done.
He lets grandma take care of him. Like what's
Exactly.
up? Right now he's just chilling. Like what's up? The kids are upstairs, and he's like, oh, I'm just in mom's office.
He's like, I needed a break.
So
They're
can
a
we
lot.
can we jump in here real quick from the puppy show to see if anybody had a second drink they want to talk about real quick, and then we can.
We got distracted.
Yeah, we did the puppies.
I feel like we still stayed on topic though. It was
Yeah.
a mother's dog. It was a mother dog.
Yeah, Doug, I have this sour beer thing from somebody and somewhere, and it's pretty decent. That's it. What you got?
Somebody
I
somewhere.
got the
I
sour.
love you
something-
broke in just to tell us about a fairly decent beer. Like he's like, it's okay. I wouldn't recommend it, but it's fine.
Yeah.
I really want to hear what ABC got because she's got she's the cool kid with all the cool things.
Oh, I'm drinking an Amity Lee now. I'm drinking a bourbon.
Fancy. She's got puppies to raise. She got to hit the hard
I'm
stuff.
stressed out. I'm a grandmother now. I'm afraid. I have 3 grandkids.
You're a young grandma too, then.
Yeah.
See,
I got to turn
it's still
45.
time to be a great grandma. Even you could just keep going.
Raleigh, I blame you for this.
Yeah. All right. So mine was Greg. You'll appreciate this. I found a Gosa, a rum barrel aged Gosa. That is 8.1%, which is like crazy
Jeez.
high for a Gosa. Those are usually like 4%.
Doug's
or
gonna
5.
pass out.
This one is rum barrel aged with Gosa ale with orange, pineapple, and toasted coconut. But this was a cool can, except somehow part of it got rubbed off. I don't know if you could see how it's like worn in certain spots. So I'm a little bummed about that. This was actually at a Maine, and I've been to Maine a bunch of times. I've never heard of this brewery. So barreled souls. Anyway, that's how it looks in my little barrel and flow glass.
Oh, I'm drinking in my barrel and flow glass too. See?
See? Cheers to you.
Cheers.
And,
Wait, what's the blue one?
With that?
The blue glass.
Well, that's because you haven't been there for 2 years.
I mean, you know, it's
Yeah. Anyway, this is very good. This is very fruity. So, like, usually Gosas, they're like they're a little bit salty. That's kind of their trademark. This is way more like tiny bit of salt, really fruity for the pineapple and orange that's in it. So, very good.
Excellent. Well, so this is where.
Go ahead,
Renee.
Story. I was sitting here. I was like, oh, I mixed my drink before the show. I'm home alone, but I took a look around my desk, and I happen to have a bottle of whiskey sitting on my desk.
Scatterbrain.
As a normal person, who works from home.
Dark cherry vanilla.
I think I had this last time I was on the show, I think, because I had it with Coke. But I'm just having it straight right now. I don't happen to have a can of Coke also on my desk.
How is it straight
With
versus
ice?
mixed with the Coke?
Well, let's
with
see.
ice.
Oh, she's doing the straw method. Ooh.
With ice.
It's good. A little bit of ice that I had left over.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I kind of now
right.
though I want to put that and the bourbon cream into something together. I don't know what. We'll figure it out. But that's a new goal of mine.
Now, okay, I know you said earlier because I was on the backstage. Now I put bourbon cream in my coffee, which has been amazing. But if you turn it into a milkshake with some bourbon, now you follow our platform. Oh my God, I'm an alcohol enthusiast. I don't want to say alcoholic, but I'm an alcohol enthusiast. Make a bourbon cream milkshake.
Yeah.
Add some vanilla paste, your favorite bourbon, a little bit more of the bourbon just to kind of up that flavor. You can use a rye whiskey, the cream oil, and your favorite vanilla ice cream. Oh my God, it's so good.
So I need to amend what my plans for Sunday are because it involves that.
There we go.
Right. So I'm going to solicit some advice from the moms now, if y'all don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
I think I warned you about this one, so I think you should be prepared. Maybe not. But actually, before we get there, real quick, I just wanted to do the. Let's catch up on the comments real quick. JG said he made plans, because his birthday. Well, it's today, but he has it's Mother's Day weekend, so he's gonna have brunch at their house, restaurant made quiches and sides and mimosas. All right. Okay.
That's kind of in the Jen vein of don't make me do anything and make decisions. So
Yep,
yeah.
I like it.
Right.
Good job.
Right. I'm whatever mom wants, I'm cool. So if y'all want to dictate the whole day, y'all don't. Y'all want us to dictate the whole day, we will. Y'all want to go out to a spa, go. Y'all want us to be around you, we'll be around you. Whatever. But Jerry said he can't say my mom kept it 100% on everything, but she was the one who gave him the talk, which is interesting because Jerry's a guy, so it's interesting when mom delivers that to a male. Always because I think there's kind of a gender thing going on where we feel that the males have to talk to males and dads have to talk to whatever. So Jerry was surprised that his mother gave him the talk. And I just wanted to see if y'all. So today I wanted to acknowledge that today is National Caregiver Day, y'all. And looking back, how did y'all manage this one? Any advice that you would give to new mothers on how mentally to navigate this? Because I believe in pre-production, and we'll start with Shalonda. Shalonda said that she was back at work like the next day almost. So you had to have good caregivers. You had to go through that process to find someone that you trusted your babies with. So how did all that work with all of you? We'll start with Shalonda. But because to me, my kids never. Part of the reason I'm homeschooling because I was scared to give my kids to anybody. I was like, no, I don't care. I'll work third shift. I'll do whatever. I just need to be around my kids. I don't trust you. Y'all crazy. Y'all weird. I don't know any of y'all. So I'm overprotective. So don't And plus I'm a dad, so I should just shut up. But Shalonda, how did you work that? And then we'll go to Renee and then Jen.
So my first daughter, both my kids, I was very lucky. My first daughter, I had to be back working within 2 weeks after giving birth because I was broke and there was it was what it was. At the time, my grandfather was a commissioner of where I work now. I've been there for 23 years. My grandmother, she took charge of being her caretaker for the first year. So even when my grandmother on days, my grandmother could not keep her. And it was like, okay, what do I do when I got to go to work? And I was working in my grandfather's office. Oh, hold on. I'm coming back to the camera. And I was working in my grandfather's office. He would shut down his meetings in his office. Like, nope, not taking any meetings because it is what it is. So my daughter could come to work with me that day. And I love that. By the time I had my second daughter, I was still working in this office as well, but I had a caregiver, which was amazing because my grandmother, she was sickly at the time and she couldn't dare take care of 2 kids, with 1 kid, let alone 2 kids. So the caregiver that I had, she was amazing. Like her name was Ruthie. She genuinely loved the babies that she took care of, and that gave me so much peace. Like I would walk in her home at like 7 o'clock in the morning, and she will be cooking lunch for the babies already to get them, and I mean, she's cooking like healthy vegetables, green beans and pot roast. I'm like, damn, can I come back for lunch? You know what I'm saying? So I was very lucky. With my second daughter, I had to be back within 6 weeks. But I will say the best advice I would give a new mom, try to have, and this is the hard part, try to have an identity outside of being a mom, because it's very important for your kids to see you have your own individual identity outside of being a mom. Because we can get so wrapped up, and don't get me wrong, like I say, I was a single parent, raising these girls. Like they had to go here, they had to go there, and I struggled financially, but I still made time to like, okay, you know what? I need to take a break so my kids don't see me burn out. So it's like, have an identity outside of being a mom. I'm not saying go full throttle and get bug ass wild and forget you got kids. No, don't do that. But take the time to say, hey, at least once a month, do something for you to keep that mental peace and that mental balance.
Renee, Jen, either of you want to chime in?
Well, so when I was in a unique situation, when I had my baby, my husband was in Afghanistan. So I stayed home. Like there wasn't stability. My parents live 7 hours away. They weren't going to come, take care of the baby for me or whatever. So I stayed home for the first several years, and then I was a work from home parent because there were more deployments and other things going on that just like the stability wasn't there to have me like an entry level job, But I have to agree with what Shalana said, because being a stay-at-home mom, a work-from-home mom, I was lucky, I guess, sadly, that my partner was very supportive of me, like remaining myself and not being like tied to the house, whatever. But it was hard for me to make friends because I would encounter so many women. Like if we didn't both happen to be stay-at-home parents, we would have never met. We have nothing in common, and I found it really difficult to be in those situations. So I spent a lot of time isolated until like the evening or the weekend when my other friends had time off, because it was really difficult for me to like, my only adult interaction is talking about the baby that I was taking care of all day, and is the reason I need adult interaction in the first place. Like, I know it sounds kind of mean, but I want to be like, well, what books are you reading? Or like, what do you do for fun? And that our culture doesn't really support women holding on to that when their kids are young. It really doesn't. I'm not blaming those other women. I was lucky that I had that like support, even being a stay-at-home parent. Society says your whole life should revolve around your baby, everything you think, everything you like, everything you do. And it's very hard to break that mold. And that's why you see so many women struggling so hard. I mean, there's a lot of other reasons women struggle so hard with the early days of parenting, but that's one of them.
Yeah.
I also had a very unique and probably unusual, lucky situation. When my husband and I decided to get married, we actually moved back to Kansas. We were living in New York City, but we moved back to Kansas so I could live 15 minutes away from my mother. And I quit my sort of 9 to 5. In those days, it was 7 to 8 p.m. And that was part of why we moved too, because I wanted to be able to see my children. And so we moved back to Kansas, and I got my real estate license because I figured I needed something that had flexibility, but yet I could make money, but I could like be flexible. But because when you're a realtor, you only make money if you're selling houses. There's no salary. And
Right.
so my son came a month early. So there's like literally pictures of me like in the hospital bed, like, closing deals on the phone, because I thought we were still gonna, like, I thought I could still work that week. And so I'm like, negotiating house sales and whatnot. And And I was back to work. Yeah. Like, I mean, as soon as he could get out of the hospital, we were back to work, and I just took him with me. Like, he was like my secret weapon. Like, he went in the baby Bjorn, and we would go show houses together, he and I, and, and everybody would be like, oh, can I hold him? I'm like, absolutely. And that brings, and
Here
that
you
brings me
go.
to my advice is, do not be afraid to ask for help, and do not be afraid to accept help when it is offered to you. You don't have to do this all by yourself. Like, and, Shalonda, she's a single mom. She doesn't have a partner, but yet she's got this amazing, network of her, what am I trying to say? Childcare provider, who like feels like, it sounds to me like it feels like family. Like, you feel safe leaving your child there, and you can ask her. And to me, like, my guess is, I'm imagining this is a woman who's probably a little bit older than you, probably has been through this already. She probably has advice for you. Like, what you're feeling is not any different than what anybody else has ever felt. Everybody has gone through the same feelings that you're going through. Renee, she has a husband who's deployed. That's, so again, you're like by yourself too. And you've got a different kind of community. And so, it's like, everything has its challenges. And so for me, like, I turned to my husband and I was like, listen, I'm going to need you to like help me. And especially by the time we had our second kid, I was like, it's time. Like, like, here's how the laundry works. Like, here's how, and he was very like, oh, he pulled oh, I didn't know you wanted me to do that. Yes, I want you to do that. And so, there's a lot of talk right now about, the emotional burden that women carry, and the burden that we carry around the household, and that, men, they pretend like they don't know how to do things. I have no qualms making a list for my husband to show him how to do the laundry, separate them, put them in the washer, measure the detergent. If it makes him feel childish, I don't care. Like, then stop telling me you don't know how to do it. And when someone says to me, can I hold your baby? Yes, absolutely. And I used to go, I remember my daughter, when she was born, my second, my grandmother used to have this huge like Thanksgiving dinner with like all of our relatives, extended family, everybody. And my daughter was only like a week old at that point, and my son was 2. And I said, I'm going to the dinner. And my husband was like, really? Why are you going? I said, oh my God, I'll get to eat. Like, everybody will hold our kids. Everybody will feed our kids. Like, all the aunties, all the grandmas, like, no, I'm going to go. I'm going to eat, and that's the thing. Like, think about like how did that end? Yeah. And I agree with both what Renee and Shalonda said too. Find your identity. You're a mother. It's the greatest job, the worst job, the best job, the hardest job, but you're also Jen and Renee and Shalonda and whoever, and don't lose your identity.
Yeah, I will say don't be scared to step up. I remember there was a time when my oldest daughter's dad, he was in the military, and he came home when she was about 3 months. And now, mind you, I went to work the whole day. Then I had to go to school. Now, mind you, I worked from 8:45 to 4:30, and then I had to be at school from 6 o'clock to 10 p.m.
Wow.
And when he came to visit, he stayed at my house. So I get home and I'm like, okay, you could have that hurt. She should already have her bath. Now, at this point, my oldest daughter is 3 months old. I walked in the house. And there was not like, what are you waiting on? Like, step up, just do something. You know what I'm saying? It was like, well, I didn't know what you wanted me to do. It's like, we shouldn't have to ask. It's your kid too. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, I think for me, it's like, that's when I learned to be overly independent. It's like, okay, I realized like nobody's gonna have these kids, and I don't know what it's like raising kids with a husband, but for me as a single mom, it was like nobody was gonna have these kids the way I have these kids. Like, I literally, there was me missing work when they were sick. There was me missing work when they had school activities. There was me missing work because the day ended right for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? So like no one was going to have these kids the way I had it. And I'm not saying like my oldest daughter, I will say this, my kids have 2 different dads. My oldest daughter's dad, he was great in the sense like, even though he was in the military, I can call him and ask him like, hey, this is what I need. And he would make sure she had it. My youngest daughter's dad, I'm not gonna get into it, but that's a whole different story. That's a whole different story. I have her by myself. But it's like you said, don't be scared to ask for help, because what happens is when you feel overwhelmed, when you feel overwhelmed, you mentally check out. I literally watched a video on TikTok where a mom surrendered her kids to CPS because within actually yesterday, because she felt overwhelmed. She had no help. And it's a sad case for the kids to be in, but I'm happy that she felt the need to make sure that they were safe rather than the alternatives of having we've heard stories. You know what I'm saying? So being a parent is just hard. Whether you're a one-parent household or a two-parent household, it's just raising kids is just hard because they're hard-headed as hell. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
I'm actually really glad you brought that up because my follow-up question is kind of based on that. To preface, I want to talk about what's the thing that you do that the internet moms would tear you apart for, or that you did. Because mine was, as I just said, I was a stay-at-home mom, I was a work-from-home mom, and I wasn't a work-from-home mom. I still work from home, and it's not a situation where I clock into a system and I'm there 9 to 5. It was all, I created my own schedule. I took the work I wanted to take. I didn't take work I didn't want to take. Super, super flexible. I did not need a babysitter. Mm-hmm. But I put my kid in daycare at 3.5. And she stayed there until school. And then there was after school programs because I wanted to and we could afford it. That's it. That's the whole story. Yeah. And I felt when a kid is verbal and can talk and tell you what's going on, then I didn't feel any risk. I didn't have family around to say, oh, we'll babysit so you can have a break or anything. Mm-hmm. So I was just I don't care. I read every argument on the baby boards where people are ripping each other apart for putting their kids in daycare. I'm like, I don't care. Yeah. So did you have a thing that maybe you didn't have to do, but you just sort of felt this is going to make my life easier. It's going to make me less likely to burn out. It's going to make me less likely to be a mom that we would talk about in terms of ending up in some kind of tragic situation of giving the kids up or, doing or saying something that you wish you hadn't. Did you have a bad mom thing like that?
I will say, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not saying that I was out wild and just out here in the streets, but I will say when I became a mom, the oldest, she made me grow up. She made me become responsible. She made me see that, hey, it's not about you. And I kid you not, she actually saved me. She was the one that put life in perspective for me. I'm responsible for someone else. And I tell people, although I wish I would have done things differently, I wish I would have been able to be more responsible and say, hey, I would have got married and have the whole 2-parent household for my kids. But I have to, now that I've done that, I look back, there are 2-parent households that are toxic. Mm-hmm. But my girls they're great. They beat all the statistics of the single parent household, you know what I'm saying? So for me to burn out, it was everything that I went through was worth it. It was worth it. It's just, I can't say that I regret anything, and I can't. You're gonna always have bad mom moments because at the end.
I didn't mean that you regret. I mean that you're proud of.
And because no, I get you. I'm just saying, it's these kids don't come with a handbook.
No.
And my mom, my own mother has told me, she was you raising kids as a single mom today, I have so much respect for you because it's harder for you today than it was when she was a single mom. She raised 3 of us, as a single mom. So it was it's hard out here. It's so hard out here, And I look at this kid who just finished her freshman year, and that, Jen, that freshman year, I'm going to give you so much leeway because you're away from home. This is your first time. You're going to party, and and I told her that, hey, the bill comes to your name. So if you fuck up, that's on you, kid. But if you do what you're supposed to do, then I pay it. I don't have no complaints. This kid came hard with all A's and 1 B in her freshman year. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, I had to pay that bill. I had to pay that bill, but it's okay, so it's like you even though it's hard as hell, you look at those rewarding moments. It's like, man, I did that. That's exciting. Like, I look back at pictures and prom, and so I'm like, damn, I did that as a parent, and that's all you can ask for.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what I mean, everything I do, the Pinterest moms come for me. So,
Jen's got a lot of fuck you to her. So let's
I was gonna say, I have a whole cottage industry built on like, my parenting mistakes or what I think was great. I think probably though I don't know if they would come for me, but I think like the hardest thing for me as a parent to get used to though is that I didn't realize how much harder it would be with the teenagers versus the little kids, and that they would need so much more supervision and
money.
And tell me about it. Yeah, I was thinking about it when I was like, yeah, why aren't I getting the Mother's Day gift? Oh, because we just bought my kid a car. That's why. It's like, but a couple of years, I mean, like COVID, like fucked everybody up,
Yes.
And I never thought I would be the mom that would like let my child have like mental health days, and that we would like talk about everyone's feelings and safe spaces and triggers. And, I just never thought I would be that parent. In my mind, I was like, that's when my kids were small. It was like, you just tell them to go to school. You just tell them, to do the things you want them to do. And we have struggled, for the last 4 years with some really serious, like mental health challenges that some of it I've been public about, some of it I haven't. And like my kid right now, she's a junior, but she's not in the building and hasn't been in the building for 2 years. And I kind of like it. Like I'm kind of at that. It's kind of like Renee sending her kid to daycare. It's me going like when my oldest went to college, I was like, oh wow, like I don't have to get anyone to school anymore. Like I don't have to like pick anybody up. Like, and so now she's talking about going back to the building, and I'm like, really? I was like, we travel. Like I just take her with me, and she does her work on the road, And so now I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna have to like find like things for you to do to keep you occupied again. But I think that, if you looked at probably, I let my kid I let her get a tattoo. Like, it's like, there are things that I just never thought I would do. And I think that's the other thing is like, you have to like throw that out. Like I would never, I think that when we're young, when our children are young, we're very judgmental, and we have a lot of, and we look at everybody else and think, oh, I would never, and then you get to that point and you're like, oh shit, like I'm just trying to keep everybody alive and healthy and held together. And, like
there is no hymn books to kids. So like my oldest, she's married. She's been married for the last 6 years. She got married at 18. And it's so funny because I used to tell people all the time, if my kids always tell me that they were gay or lesbian, I don't care. I love you no matter what. Now she does have a wife, which I love my daughter-in-law. I will have to say this, my most challenging moment as a parent was finding out my daughter got married at the courthouse, and I didn't know that. I found out on an iPhone, but it was I had one on her iPhone. Like, what the hell? Like, I'm paying for you to live, and you went and got married at the fucking, So I had a moment when, I'm not gonna lie to you, I put her out. Like, I feel like if you're grown enough to get married, you're grown enough to take care of yourself. It is what it is. And we had a heart-to-heart, and she apologized for the way it happened. And to this day, 6 years later, they're still together. Still happy. I love both her and my daughter-in-law. My daughter just re-enlisted in the Air Force like last week. So it was like, you're gonna have your trials and tribulations. It is what it is. It's like, it doesn't make you a bad person, it doesn't make you a bad parent. It's testing boundaries, and they're gonna always test your gangster to this day.
I think it's the thing of like, no matter what the situation is, you have some idea of how you would behave in it. And when it happens, you're like, oh, this is why people do the thing I thought was dumb.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think you have to give yourself grace.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a whole lot of grace. A whole lot of grace and a whole lot of liquor. And they have to be ground looking for that type of grace, because I swear to God, it's so funny. I used to tell my kids, like, I'm surprised I have to ended up, here's the thing, it's like old school parenting versus new school parenting.
Right.
That's the whole topic. So, like, I was raised old school parenting. I was raised where my mother was not scared of the police. If we call, and I remember there was one time my youngest daughter, and I snatched her soul, because you're not going to stand in my house and tell me what you will and won't do. So some teacher at her old high school gave her the idea, oh, it's against the law for your mom to do this and to do that. I snatched her soul. And then when I went to parent-teacher conference, and I was like, you know what? Let me raise my kid now, so you won't, so the system won't have to later. Like, I'm not scared of going to jail. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you have to not be scared. It is what it is at this point. Yeah. And to this day, that's why I'm glad we have relationships like this. She's upset. She's like, I love my mama, but I'm not going to test my mother either.
Hey, Greg, we have something we wanted to discuss with the ladies on the panel. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm just loving the stories, man. I can just sit back and listen to these stories.
We've been sitting back just enjoying the shit out of this. This has been great. This is like the easiest show Greg and I have ever done.
Yeah, the men have just been like, I'm going to sit back in the background and let the ladies just take control.
Emotional labor. We're doing it again.
What do you guys give us?
I'm gonna drink them a 4 over here.
Hey! Is it weaponizing competence or emotional labor? Which is the one?
Well, you seem quite confident. You didn't say you didn't know how to do it. You just sat back and let us do it. So.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it was more like we wanted to hear you all talk about your experiences, as opposed to hearing fucking dudes jump in and throw their 5 cents in every time. So.
Of course, you can't win. You say you're mansplaining Mother's Day to us.
Hold on. This is perfect, actually, because here's the opposite of what could have happened. I literally saw, we have a little local Facebook group because we're a tiny little area. We don't have like any local news. So that's the only way to know what's going on. And it's just as toxic as next door. A man posted, let's not forget to celebrate all the dads who've had to be a mom too for whatever reason. And I'm like, you have Father's Day. There's plenty of moms who had to do everything. They have Mother's Day. Like, leave it to some random dirty ass man. I'm saying it.
You mean mansplaining Mother's Day bad?
And be like, oh, but what about the men on Mother? What about the dads? It's like, you have a day. And if the people in your life aren't making you feel appreciated on that day, maybe it's because you suck this bad, or maybe you need to advocate for yourself. I don't know, but it's not about you. It's about love.
And in fact, Renee, I saw some rant yesterday or the day before on social media that I hadn't really thought about, but someone was saying, like, Mother's Day's in May. This is the end of the school year for most people. There's graduations. There's like so much shit going on these last few weeks of May, and you throw Mother's Day in there. Whereas dads get June when, it's sports was the other thing. Sports are big in May. Just June, we're usually in between sports and there's no school, and, and the weather is better. I mean, they just had this whole thing, and I was like, yeah, why?
Let's move Mother's Day to July.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm super in favor of that because my birthday's in July, and I could really just I could build on the Leo empire right there.
The Leo empire.
Your poor family couldn't handle it.
That's how I get my peacock chair I want so bad, but they're too expensive. That's,
Let's just move it all to December.
You don't know how to act if we did that.
So yeah, I wanted to talk about TV moms. We usually talk about TV here, so I wanted to see what y'all thought about TV moms. Of course, we'll let the moms go first, and your favorite TV mom, or anyone that you grew up with that really kind of, I wouldn't say impacted how you've mothered, but maybe, I don't know. My two were inspirational to me in 2 different ways, but we'll get to that when I get there. But that's my example. Yeah.
Hands down, Claire Huxtable. She was professional and she was gangster. That's it. That's all. That's it right there. Like we saw where Claire was professional, but when she went off, she went off.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you look up I went to a couple lists of TV moms just because I wanted to like have my memory jogged on, ones that I may missed. And she was always like the one or the top two.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew she was going to get said today because she was just, I don't know. She was a discreet mom. Renee I'm sorry, Shalonda, you go. And then Renee.
Claire Huxtable, because like you come home, I'm in the profession, I have a career, but then when you got to go off, you got to cuss your kids out in a sense. Yeah, you can go there. Yeah, I relate to Claire Huxtable. Felicia Rashad did an amazing job as Claire Huxtable. That's me raw all day, especially when you have that one trouble child like Vanessa. Oh yeah, you're gonna go from gentle. Here's the thing: I'm all for gentle parenting, but I'm also all for being a gangster. There's a happy medium, gentle to gangster. There you go.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, because like I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to hear you out. I'm going to hear your perspective. But if you still not getting it, you're gonna make me cuss you out. Now I'm gonna say some things you may not want to hear, but I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Yeah.
And some kids will just push it until you have to.
Yeah.
Mine does.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I think all kids do. And the one thing I will say about this, I hate about this new age parenting is that everybody feel like they need a participation trophy for just being a parent. When you get on like social media, you always hear about how Gen X. I'm a Gen Xer. I'm 45. I just turned 45 in March. Like, oh, they're toxic. They're this. No, true enough, we had some shit that we had to get through because our parents were baby boomers. Our grandparents was of the silent generation. They actually went through shit and they projected onto us. But however, I tell these new age parents, you guys record and post your kids for likes and do not correct the behavior. That's more toxic than anything.
There's a lot coming out about how that has affected like that first generation of kids that were all over YouTube, and I guess at the time it was Instagram, and how those kids feel about it now. It turns out maybe it's not a great idea. So yeah, I'm with you. Every generation has their own set of mistakes to make with their kids. I feel like is the other thing.
Yeah. So Renee, your TV moms?
Mine's fucking heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking because if anybody younger than a certain age is watching this, they're gonna go, "What the fuck are you talking about, Renee?" Fucking Roseanne.
I did like Roseanne.
Back in the day, it was like a real working class family. They dealt with their shit and they dealt with it with love. But there was no veneer of respectability over it. There was no Leave It to Beaver shit going on. It was real. And I loved, she was like a waitress in some of the seasons. She was working. She was loving towards her kids, but she wanted them to do better than she did. It was fucking a really cool show. And then, now we have the Roseanne that we have now, and that sucks. And I wish we didn't. I wish we had the old Roseanne.
Yeah. I agree. I like Roseanne. I feel like I used to like Roseanne.
Oh, you were waiting
Roseanne was dope.
You're waiting for Claire Huxtable.
Yeah, I was waiting for Roseanne. I wanted somebody to take Roseanne just for. I wasn't going to be me though. What's up, Jen? What do you got for TV mom or moms? You can say more than one, or
So the TV mom thing really actually is it's like a really sore subject with me because the two moms you guys mentioned are both actually moms I don't have issues with because both of them had husbands that were competent. But it's like when you watch Everybody Loves Raymond or, all these kind of popular, in the middle, whatever the middle show was. It's like every dad is a fucking moron. And if I was a dad, I'd be pissed because they make every dad into a moron and every mom is just suffers through his insanity and is raising a giant child. And so it just would drive me crazy. And once you see it, like you can't unsee it. And so when I'm sitting here thinking like, are there any moms that I like, on TV? Were there ever any moms? And when I'm thinking about the ones from my childhood, that kind of, it's weird what influenced me, because I literally was raised by like a June Cleaver. Like my mom is such a high overachiever. Like my family was just, meatloaf Fridays, and, my dad wore slippers at, after dinner kind of thing. And my mom stayed home, and, cleaning is like a, Olympic sport for her, all these things. And so you would think like that, but those moms, like, I was like, I can never be that mom. Like, I don't want to be that mom. Like, I don't want to do that. And so the moms I was drawn to, and I'm sitting here thinking about it, I'm like, is there something wrong with me? So Anne Romano, who was the mom in One Day at a Time, and she was raising like 2 girls by herself.
Yeah.
But I liked it because, again, I think it's the same thing with the Huxtables and with Roseanne. It's that they never sugarcoated the problems that those kids had. Those kids were not perfect. Those kids had issues. They had problems. They did not live high on the hog. It's like they had to be told no at times. They had to be told, we can't do this. And then the other one I really liked was Kate and Allie, which 2 divorced moms that lived together and raised their kids like, commune style, which I've always said I would love to have a sister wife. So maybe that's my thing. Like, I don't know. But yeah, get rid of like the annoying dad, and then I like the moms, I guess. I don't know.
I gotta say,
the TV show Mom.
What'd you say?
The TV show Mom.
Yeah.
I used to like that show because no, I'm not a recovering drug addict, but the mom was like, look, I'm going to keep it real. It is what it is. I did like that show.
Yeah. I haven't seen much of it, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
See, I
think
like
now they're making a little bit better stuff, or even like, if you watch like Working Moms, like on like Netflix or something like that. Like
that show's hilarious.
Yeah. Like, they're making some more realistic moms. I think that's the thing, for me personally, like, that's just like what I keep running into. It's like, I keep trying to pitch Hollywood for like, like, let's have real moms and like real dads, like not an idiot and not a ball breaker, but
the sloppiest, most incompetent man in the world who is married to fucking Maya Rudolph. Are you kidding me?
Right.
Like,
and that's the other thing. She's always hot and perfect, and he's always a schlub. Like, it's always like,
and willing to keep
the most realistic mom that I've ever seen. And even though I love Claire Huxtable, there was a show back in the day called South Central.
South Central
it had Lorenz Tate. I can't remember the name of the mom, but she was a single mom trying to raise 3 kids and just trying to get through life. That show for me was very realistic. Yeah.
It's funny you say that. When Greg asked that question, it did not even occur to me to think about dramas. I thought only about sitcoms. And now you say that, I'm like, oh man, like, I feel like I approached it from a totally, like, I don't know, myopic.
No, you approach it from whatever works for you, Renee. That's okay.
No, but I'm thinking like there's probably a lot of moms in drama that I feel like I have bigger feelings about, but I just didn't think about it. I thought of the sitcom mom instead, like, because the sitcom mom.
You too.
That's ubiquitous, though. Everybody thinks of that, right?
Yeah.
Because my other one is fashion icon, not life icon, Peg Bundy.
Peg Bundy. Oh my god.
I Peg Bundy. I do like her. Like,
She's read about for sure. But I love it.
Greg, what was yours?
Working class that have their own like weird whatever, but
yeah. Greg? Did you want me to go first? Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I have 3.
I have 1. So
I'll go through quick. These two first ones though reminded me of the moms in my family. Not really specifically my mom, just the moms that are in my family. And number 1 was It's the Roll, y'all. Good times.
Good times.
Here's the thing. Now, I have watched every single episode of Good Times. It was so funny because like my youngest, for whatever reason, they used to calm her down. I used to turn on Good Times, and she was like, I'm cool.
I love that.
She was so churchy for me. Oh shit.
That was my grandmother. That was my grandmother.
Mine too. So it's like I definitely understood where Esther World was coming from. But hold on, let me turn my camera back on.
So relatable. So relatable. Yeah. Loved it. Now, this next one, she's a mom, but she doesn't really get mom dap, I don't think, generally. And I didn't see her on any list, or very few that I saw. I went through like 3 lists, I didn't see her. Is Weezy, y'all. Weezy.
Oh no,
Weezy Jefferson.
Weezy was out of touch.
Well,
out of touch.
She's like, I'm here to start a fight, Greg.
But here we go. Weezy had to deal with like the crazy husband. Like that was the deal.
So
why she?
Yeah, the husband. She should have, when she moved on up, she should have thrown him out the window. Like
what
that.
Is she had to deal with the Greg Porter.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
But she was also like she was an adult mom at that point. So like, and they didn't really address, like, Lionel was there and all that, but like it wasn't really like an address thing. I just remember her from being I just grew up with the Jeffersons. Doug knows I love them. And it was just like I kind of looked at her more motherly than I think even her character was portrayed, actually. But Lionel was there, and I don't know, for some reason, and she's not on any list, but I just loved Weezy. Weezy was great. And then lastly, I have a range of mothers, and I don't know. This one is just more of a joke one, but
there you go.
Nancy Botwin from Weeds.
I thought about her too, but then I was like, is she? Is she a good mom?
Like just like.
Look, she did what she had to do as a mom. Look, okay.
She never learned anything from anything that happened to her. That's why I ended up on the show eventually, because I was like, honey, you can't be this stupid. In the beginning,
I just wanted to mention her because she was funny as hell. That whole thing was funny.
Seasons, I'm with you, but then it was like, oh well, everything's been going so wrong. I should probably dig a tunnel to Mexico and involve the cartel. That'll be fine. It's like,
that'll be fine.
Why not?
I mean, then we might as well say like Laura Linney on Ozark if we're going there. Like, there's a good mom. She did what she had to do too.
Skylar White.
No, for both of them. No. What's up, Doc?
All right, so mine is
Ozark's a fantastic show, though. Fantastic.
Yeah, and I won't watch it because it's organized crime. But anyway, so I'm gonna give you one that's a little bit on the fringes, and I'm gonna explain why. It's Abby O'Neill, who is Dharma from Dharma and Greg's mom.
Oh, she's Dharma's mom?
Yes.
Okay.
She was an activist to the hilt, never stopped. She was extraordinarily in love with her partner. They were never married. They were hippies, and they very clearly fucked. Like they were not shy about the fact that they were like in their 50s or 60s and they were still having sex and enjoying each other. Like, I just love that character because she was just like, yeah, we do that stuff. And like, part of it was like the straight-laced character of the Montgomerys were like, well, they're just very straight-laced and Republican. So how dare you have sex when you're past 42? Like fuck that. But like, she was great from that perspective, just because she very clearly loved her kid. She was very supportive of her husband, even though he was kind of this nerd, straight-laced Republican guy. Like, I just thought she was a great mom. And that just from
I'll give you that, Doug, because the reality is that I am as afraid of my kid ending up with a fucking square as like every parent was afraid that they could end up with me.
Yeah, that was a bit out of the box, but I just like, and I cannot claim credit for that. Jill pointed her out, and I was like, oh shit, that's fucking right. Like, that's the best TV mom for me. It's like, there's some really good TV moms. The problem is with the Claire Huxtable thing for me, and it's not her, it's the fucking dad. It's fucking Bill that's the problem. That
we
kind
can't
of
separate them now.
Well, yeah, no, that's kind of the same thing with Roseanne, but it's Roseanne that went off.
Well, and the problem is Claire Huxtable, her real persona is not as bad as what Roseanne is now as herself. So like, yeah, I mean, like I said, you have to sort of identify with what the mom is and the dad is when you're looking at those sort of things. And
You're the hippie.
Yeah, and I was never a hippie. I was like you a little bit in high school, Renee. I was pretty straight laced. And then when I got to be a senior in high school, I had a few drinks. And I went to college, and that was like fucking it. And then it was just like I'm gonna be drunk all the time, and that's what I was in college. But I have a question for all you after we get past what Renee is gonna say.
I wasn't like, okay, so here's the funny thing. I was in this like little group setting where we had to answer questions about like our religious background or whatever. And this is the thing, is how I existed in the world was very weird. And part of the reason that I broke away from religion, I found my place in the punk underground at the same time I started being really heavy into church. And so like I wasn't like, I didn't drink or do drugs or anything, but I was like getting the shit. I lost like hearing in my ear for a year after a mosh pit. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but in the end, I'm really glad that it happened that way because it got me out of the Mormon church. If I hadn't found like the punk underground, I might still be Mormon, you guys.
You might have been in the W's documentary.
Oh,
You could have a sister wife.
Which is Jen's dream, apparently.
Yeah, that's my dream.
All right. Can we just zero in on why?
Let's do this.
Why?
I have a whole list. Would you like to know why?
Yes, please, because I'm really curious.
So here's my reason why I'd like a sister wife. So did you guys watch Big Love? Like, do you remember Big Love?
I have.
Okay. So I watched that and I had an epiphany. I was like, okay, wait, I get my own house. And the kids always went over to somebody else's house for breakfast every morning. Did you notice that? Like one mom like fed all the kids breakfast. I was like, because like one mom worked and like one mom stayed home and then one mom was just the one who fucks. And I was like, I could have my own house. I could send my kids off to the mom who keeps the kids. I could go to a job, go to work every day. And my husband comes home and goes next door to somebody else's house and I could read my book all night. And I just have to see him once a week. Done and done. Like if she go clean and cook and satisfy him and I can read my Kindle like 4 nights out of 7, I would be very happy. So, and my husband knows this. This is not a secret. The poor man, he doesn't care. He probably would like a sister wife too at this point because I'm an ass to live with. So he probably wouldn't mind having an extra wife, but But yeah, I think it's a genius. I mean, I'm not going to have 10 kids though. That's my problem.
Right.
Like I just I would hold it 2, and then if Sister Lilith wants to have 20, that's on her.
See, I was a one and done. So the very idea of even doing
one and done.
But like the very idea of being in that environment with so many children around just like makes me want to scream. And I have friends who are like, I've got 7 kids and I'm so happy that I could burst. And I'm like, I'm so fucking happy for you. And I'm so happy for me.
All right. So my question for all of you is, what is the worst TV mom? Because I'm going to give you mine real quick because I'm not sure any of you can top this.
Okay.
I'm really not sure you can. If you can, I will be surprised. Ready?
Yep.
Wait.
Wait. I don't know who this is. I don't watch this show.
I don't watch it either, but I like my husband did, so I know I can recognize.
It's Cersei Lannister from Game of Thrones, who basically all of her kids died because she was a fucking jackass.
Well, and her children were products of incest too. Like
that's fair. All of her kids are products.
I mean,
of
the baby daddy is her brother.
Yeah. So, the only good kid out of all of them was the last one, and he died when she had her wife incinerated. So he was like, "Fuck this," and he outed himself.
I'm out. Like,
yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
that's
no,
mine.
I don't think anyone can top that. That's a good one. Mic drop.
All right, please do.
Come on, Daniel.
Daniel, what a dad joke! I love it.
That's Daniel, though.
That.
Usually, JH
coming in hard with the dad joke.
JHG is usually the dad joke guy, but like, yeah, that was.
I feel like it depends on how you define TV because Jack and I watch a lot of cult docuseries.
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
Knows.
Yeah, I'm talking fictional. Let's just stick to fictional.
Okay. You know what? I'm actually gonna steal from Jen a little bit. It's all of those TV moms who are like, look at my idiot husband who never does anything and I do everything. And this is the example I'm setting for my daughters.
Yeah. I don't know who else there could be.
Can I say Nancy Botwin again?
Yes. Yes. Now that I have some perspective on what you mean by favorite, and then like now it makes a little bit more sense. I can support you.
I mean, I guess if we're going with reality, this week could be Ruby Frankie or whatever her name is, but
Oh God, yeah.
Oh,
she's not a great mom. I
oh,
try
she's
not to
the-
judge, but I'm going to judge her pretty hard.
I feel like if you go to jail for how you treat your children, I'm allowed to judge you a little bit.
There you go.
That's
It's
fair.
not the same as like,
Fair.
well, I think that you should breastfeed and I
Right.
think that you should formula feed, but cloth diapers no, like you
Can we add a group to it? Can we add a group to it?
A group of moms?
Group of moms.
Trad wives.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Going back to the example that you're leaving, yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
So-
I don't mean to judge, but yeah, that
I will. I'll go there.
All right,
do
Jen,
it.
lay it out. Let's go.
First of all, what are you doing? Like, why are they doing this? Like, what the fuck? Like, you do not need to make food from scratch. You do not need to fucking put on an apron every morning and do your face and your hair. It's just, I don't, and my husband's in charge. My husband's the boss, blah, blah, blah. And it's always like, I feel like it's like closely aligned with like fundamentalist Christians and
Oh, it is.
right
It's
wing
so
and like,
yeah.
white supremacy. Like it's like one big Venn diagram that's really just a big old circle. And meanwhile, like they are probably some of the freakiest fucks out there. Like you just know it. Like look at this poor woman. I'm still standing by that her pastor husband offed her. I don't know how yet. I've heard the 911 call. I think it's AI because I'm a conspiracy theorist. But like when you read her journal
and it's like
what the fuck?
all signs
Girl?
point to her husband killed her. But what's
Oh,
left?
the Micah Miller thing.
Yes, poor Micah.
I said that to you, Renee. I was like, did you see this shit? Because like,
No, because Doug, this is the thing. I didn't remember you sent it to me because I'm that person. 5 people sent that to me.
and by the way, Jen, this is all over the TikTok stuff. That's got leaked into my fucking stupid For You page.
Oh yeah.
Just the Micah Miller stuff. Like what? Shalonda,
Insane.
you're on TikTok. Have you
Yes.
seen the stupid Micah Miller stuff?
Yeah.
No, I haven't. I've seen. No, I have not seen that. But within the last 24 hours, I seen something way more depressing.
Oh no.
Oh no.
So I was watching a video earlier, and oh my god, it's like I don't want to cry, and I'm not an emotional person, but I watched a video that actually happened to pop up on my For You page, where a mom committed suicide at Ohio State University.
Yes.
Was at her daughter's graduation.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I didn't realize it was a self-unaliving thing. I thought
Yeah,
that was
they've decided
So,
everybody watched it.
They found that it was not. It was suicide. Like she committed suicide. She actually jumped from the bleachers at her daughter's graduation at Ohio State University.
That's
Now, here's the thing, like
intimately tragic.
you never know what a person is going through, and I never wanted to dismiss a person's mental health. It's like, but for me as a mom, it's like, oh my god, as a mom, like, first of all, I'm sorry, hold that thought. Why did you come to my office? Sorry, I had to go back. But it's like, I feel so bad for the daughter and the family. Like, you guys have to deal with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is really like that brings the whole like vibe down because it is. It's
I don't mean to do that. It's like
no, it's legit because the thing is, like you said, it's not just like whatever was going on in that woman's life that led her to that place is its own tragedy, but then it's like the layering of effect on the daughter and then all of these people that were also there that have had like their graduation and their family members' graduation impacted by it. Because you, like, what an example of this is there was one of these self-help gurus who does retreats, right? And he's responsible for a lot of people dying. But one of the first things he did was like people pretending to be homeless for a day and then coming back and sharing their feelings or whatever. Somebody committed suicide during one of those retreats, and the people who were part of the retreat who saw it, like, they all had PTSD over that. And they didn't know that person really. They had known him for like a day. So having that stuff happen around you, that's like, it's not your mom, but it's your friend's mom, or it's just like this unexpected thing that just happened on a day that you were expecting to be celebrating. Like, it affects so many people. I mean, and look, it's like it's affecting you having heard about it. So
yeah, and here's the thing. I'm for me, it's like, and I'm not trying to be selfish. For me, I'm looking at it as a mom and as a child. Like, I'm not even thinking about the other people that it may have affected. It's like, as a daughter whose mom committed this tragedy at her graduation, like it's a time that you're supposed to be celebrating, and to know that your mom was at her lowest point where she felt the need to do this at this moment. Like, oh my God, it's like I'm hurting. I'm crying for her. Like, I literally cried tears for her earlier. Like, it's so sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that is really rough.
Yeah.
That took a turn that I wasn't expecting, but I'm really glad you brought that up, because I didn't realize that was someone taking their own life, as opposed to like somebody just stepped the wrong way and went off. That I didn't realize that.
I thought that at first, and then I started reading more stories, and then the news, and then police reported like, no, it was not foul play. This was something that this mom did, and I'm like, oh my God, and like, this daughter has to live with that for the rest of her life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And to me, that it just goes back to the advice: ask for help, please. Ask for help.
Yep.
Ask for help.
Ramen.
Don't be afraid to ask for help.
It's the whole tagline. It's okay to not be okay.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. So the Gen Xer generation, and I tell people, we were taught it was taboo to be, because they considered if you asked for help, it was crazy. If you had mental health issues, you were crazy. Let's get away from that. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to ask for help. And that's why, that's what, for me, that's what I teach my daughters. Like, if you're going through something, reach out, get mental health resources. If you, as your mom, I'm not going to judge you. And that's the thing. And here's the thing. That's what, like, for me as a Gen Xer, and my mom, she was cool, but if I was to told her, like, hey, I'm going through something, it's a different feel for me to say, hey, mom, I'm struggling with some mental health. Because for her, she was taught that, like, hey, if you're going through something mentally, you're crazy. Yeah. And I'm not going to blame her for that, because that's how she was taught. But now that I know better, I'm not going to put my daughters through that.
Just amen to that. Yeah, like, for real. It's like, and that's what I was saying to you earlier about, like, every generation has its own parenting issues, because we learn more, but then sometimes, you overcorrect, or you don't get it right, or whatever. And one benefit, I think, of like the current generation of parenting is that mental health matters, but of course we don't have a society that supports that quite yet. So it's like we're gonna be playing catch up for probably at least another generation, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's why I was glad that my youngest daughters, they didn't have those with my oldest daughters. My youngest daughter, they had the mental health days. And here's the thing with those mental health days, and I learned, if those kids took more than 2 mental health days, it was calling CPS on you. Mm-hmm. And I didn't like that.
Neglect is what it's
that if my daughter was going through something mentally, you're going to call CPS and get CPS involved. I didn't like that. So it's like, are those days really meant for those kids to really go through something, or was that a way for you to gauge the parents? I didn't like that.
Well, I think the other issue, right, is the way that we fund schools is by asses and seats. And so
Yeah,
it creates a culture where the school cannot care as much about what the kid is going through at home as they care about getting that kid's ass in the seat that day.
exactly. Exactly. And here's the thing, I'm an old school parent, mixed with new school parent. Like I will reach out to parents, reach out to teachers like, hey, what's going on? But it's also like, hey, I need you to come to me and let me know what's going on. I don't want to be judged, but it's like, I don't know. It's a weird dynamic nowadays. It's hard to parent. Greg, you feel that?
Yeah.
Even as a dad, you feel that?
Yeah.
Wait,
I don't know.
Greg, Greg,
It's Mother's Day, so y'all get to talk.
how old are your boys?
20 and 18.
Oh shit! Well, never had illegal adults. Never mind.
Now they are. Yep. And I don't know.
Greg, I need some more. You remember that bottle you gave me?
Mm-hmm.
I need more of that.
I know where to get it. We'll talk.
I need more
All
of
right.
that. I need more of that, Greg.
Okay. I just need. This is a simple question, and I think y'all better get it right. You know what that means. What is the acceptable answer here?
It's
Sweet and sour sauce.
Yeah.
Sweet and sour sauce all day, every day.
Yeah, it's got to be. Who just put straight soy sauce on an egg roll? That's insane.
I am married to a Chinese man, and so the answer would be none of this.
Wait. I gotta know why.
What is he? Or does he?
Because these egg rolls are not. These are not egg rolls. These are not real. And so, I mean, soy sauce is really the only thing that, that he recognizes. The pink sauce really throws him off a lot. Like my mom loves that pink sauce, but yeah, and maybe like just some soy sauce and maybe a little sesame oil or something like that, but not these egg rolls. Never these egg rolls. Sorry. We just
apologize because Americanized Chinese food is like my one thing I don't like.
Yeah.
And so every time I'll tell people like, oh, like I'm really flexible. You guys pick a restaurant, I'll show up. If I forget to say except Chinese food, I always end up eating Chinese food. And I'm like, Americanized Chinese food is not where I'm at. And I love so many different Asian cuisines. I have this feeling deep in my soul that it's about the way it's been Americanized and not about like the source cuisine.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So what can I ask Jen about from the perspective of having someone who is Asian as your husband?
Mm-hmm.
Is he specific about something like, let's say, soy sauce?
Yes.
Is there a specific soy sauce that he prefers?
Yes.
All right. What is it?
Kikkoman.
Kikkoman?
Yep.
All right.
It's more the rice that he has a problem with. Like, I was raised on minute rice and Uncle Ben's, and he's just like, what the fuck is this? And so, so we buy, 50 pounds of rice at a time from Costco.
And how many times does he rinse it?
Oh, he's not a rinser. He doesn't rinse. Yeah, he does not rinse. He likes the flavor. And so, and because I don't know any different, I'm just like, okay.
He likes the starch.
He does. And so, and so we have like a 45-year-old rice cooker that was like handed down to us from, it's like our only generational, thing that we have that we can leave to our children someday. They don't have to fight over the rice cooker. It was given to us by his parents, and it was probably given to them by their parents. And so, but yeah.
Yeah, I from as we talked about TikTok, I learned to wash the rice, but you could save the water for all the starch to use for other things like soups and things like that. And I'm just like, I didn't realize I could do that. So,
No, he just likes this, he just likes it in the rice.
And obviously with soy sauce for someone like me who has to watch sodium at every fucking level.
Yeah.
I found a soy sauce on Amazon that is super low sodium and it actually tastes pretty good. But again, I'm an American, so white American. So what the fuck do I know about what good soy sauce is?
Doug, I have a pro tip for you.
Okay, Doug. So what do you do here? What do you do here, Doug? Quick.
Honestly, I don't use any of them. I just like egg rolls plain. If I'm going to dip in anything, it'd probably be soy sauce. So, or plum sauce. If I can find plum sauce, which is not generally used for egg rolls, it's more for like spring rolls. But I will be happy to use plum sauce.
What's up, Renee?
Oh, I was saying the secret, even if you use jarred sauce when you make pasta, is you save a little bit of pasta water just to put in your sauce at the end. And it'll elevate that sauce to a different level.
Yeah, because when you add salted water. Yeah.
Well, no, I don't salt my water because whatever. Starch and water seem more important. And then a little bit of extra fat in there, like if it's your whole milk or some cheese or something, bring your sauce to a whole new level.
Aw, puppy. All right, here, y'all. Doug and I want to thank you. We're going to start to wrap up here. But Jen, before we go,
Okay, is that Chardonnay? I think cinnamon was a bit darker, right?
Cinnamon was a big dark. This is Chardonnay.
Yep.
So cute.
That's what I thought.
Hey, baby girl.
Jen, what's going on? Author of many books, as we can see in the back.
Wait, that rice cooker hasn't caught a fire yet.
Not yet. It'll be either that or the air fryer. One of those two are going to kill us all.
I love the air fryer. Anyway, go ahead, Jen. Sorry to interrupt.
Wonderful timing, Doug. Not. Anyway, Jen. Author of many books. What's going on? Are you writing one? What's the latest one we have out?
The latest one I have out is Midlife Bites. Anyone else falling apart, or is it just me? It's all about my midlife crisis and all the things that nobody told me about with aging. And I'm currently working on a follow-up to that. I want to call it Nice Women Don't Talk About Such Things. My agents want to call it I'm So Fucking Tired. Either one works for me. So, but we'll be pitching that here shortly. And I have a children's book that I wrote with Lauren Numeroff, who wrote If You Give a Pig a Pancake and If You Give a Mouse a Cookie and all those children's books. And we're still trying to get that one picked up. So we've got it done. We're just trying to find a home for it. So if you're a children's book publisher out there, give us a call. This woman's a rock star. I'm nothing, but she's a rock star. And that's what I'm working on.
And so are you, by the way.
Thank you. Oh, and I have a Substack where I did write about the Micah thing. So I have a Substack too where I write.
Where do we find you?
You can just search jenmanwrites.com and then they'll take it everything I got. One N in Jen and two in Man. People seem
Renee,
to get that confused.
What's going on with you? Anything you want to tell us publicly, or?
I'm just living a very little life right now, and I love it a lot. But if you follow me on Instagram, because you've seen me here, if you go in my little bio, there's another Instagram account where I'm sharing a lot of my photography edits and things. And I've got a little show coming up, and I'm doing a big thing in October where here in Joshua Tree, artists open up their studios and people can come in and see your stuff and hopefully buy it. I hope people buy it because it's expensive to be part of. But yeah, you can find me on Instagram at artpostasy.
Excellent. And what's going on with Afro Beer Chick?
I'm trying to get these puppies raised. That's all.
What'd she say?
I'm trying to get these puppies to 8 weeks so they can get to their forever homes, healthy and happy. That's my main focus right now.
What week are we in?
2. Oh no.
You only have 6 weeks left. It's fine.
I only got 6 weeks left.
Just 6.
No, okay, so I have these puppies, and then I'm recording videos on Tuesday with Revolution for more beer cocktails. So yeah.
Yeah.
More drinking as usual. Trying not to strangle my kid that's upstairs. You know what? Home. You know I love you to death. Are you ready to go back to school? Yeah. she said no. Damn. So yeah, trying to get between puppies and kids. That's my main focus.
Cool. All right. Usually we do a beer review here, but we're gonna skip that, Doug. JenManWrites.com at the bottom, y'all. Check Jen out. We want to thank our moms for joining us and bringing that mom wisdom where we have zero.
I like that you made it sound like we 3 are your mom, like Greg and Doug's mothers.
Does that mean we get gifts?
Yeah, you just buy gifts.
Yes.
Damn.
Doug, you're on mute. So I guess why is Doug on mute?
I don't know.
I can't unmute Doug because he muted himself.
I accidentally, because I was coughing and I forgot to unmute myself. I was gonna say, being on this show isn't a gift enough, Jen. I see how it is.
2.5 hours of witty banter. That's all I get. That sounds right. That sounds right. About right.
Typical for a man, right?
Right. And now you can go read your Kindle.
Thank
and be
you.
done with this. You don't even have to pay us to leave or anything.
Jonathan says, "Thank you, Jen, Shalonda, and Renee for keeping the men quiet for them." I love that. You're welcome.
I think, Greg, we stumbled onto something that we need to do every year. For real.
Yeah. So thanks, y'all. Next week we return with
Rachel. We return with Rachel Beers with Burkowski. She's someone I saw on TikTok, but also actually does more work on IG.
I'm gonna put it out there. You guys need to get Libby Kreider from Second Chef.
Whom? Could you repeat that?
Libby Kreider from Second Chef.
Second
Can
Chef.
you put in a good word for us?
Hell yeah. I love Libby. Libby's been out like this.
I know.
Whoa, I can't even do that.
Tell her.
Wait, what's a stupid millennial heart thing that makes it look like you're a spider? I can't do that shit.
I feel like I'm just throwing Illuminati.
Jen, you and I are both like,
I'll just get in trouble. They're like, I knew she was Illuminati.
Yeah.
I mean, I am Eastern Star, so yeah, I might as well be.
Yeah. All right, but thank you all for just being here and really, you guys ran the show, and that was great. Like Greg and I could just kind of hang out and listen to women talking about how they deal with being moms and what's challenges and what's great, and just this has been super fun. And I think we, with you, because you've been so great doing this, I think it stumbled into something that will be a recurring theme for our show on Mother's Day weekend. So thank you for all of you for being here.
Well, thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. So we will have maybe a few minutes after the show to hang out if you care to. If you don't, thank you for being here.
Cheers.
1 minute and 36.
Yep. Jen made the
danger. Don't act